Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome back everybody to our nightly adventure with Ferris, or Tyrion I suppose, tonight, where we just picked up a Brave Blade, and now we are trying to, well, go through the pyramid. We have just arrived in World 3 after finally managing to knock out X-Death after a decent number of deaths, let's put it this way. And with the Brave Blade finally in hand, we actually should have little to no trouble defeating more or less everything along the way in one or two swings. Also, I forgot to start my timer. But the funny thing is, I believe we could actually knock these guys out without even using two-hand, as we could use a shield instead. So I might just equip a shield briefly here. I don't really know how these enemies work. I don't usually fight them, so maybe we're in for a surprise and they have like a petrification move or so. Dark Shock. Interesting. So even if they have Petrify, unless it's a monster move, it would still cost MP for them. They don't have enough MP for Dark Shock. To be fair, that is pretty expensive. It would halve my current level, but, well... Your chat keeps disconnecting all day. That's no fun. Cool, we beat Atmos, indeed. We even beat X-Death at the end of World 2 yesterday. Bravely is not default. Not yet, no. Alrighty, and, well, we just keep trucking on. I always walk into this guy, but thanks to having a shield and the Brave Blade, we can knock this guy out right away anyways. Most of the enemies in here are undead, except for the stone slabs. These snakes are actually considered undead. They don't give a whole lot of experience, but they're kinda tricky to avoid anyways. Game map, you had too loud? Alrighty, let me correct that. Just tone it down a little bit. Could be just because I'm, well, sitting back a bit more than usual. Alrighty, so over here we have monsters in a box. These monsters are cursed ones. They're mostly notable because they hit like a truck, just physically. But we have a decent amount of defense. And they have like, I think 2000 HP. So some of these chests, actually a lot of these chests are mostly useless, so I'm not even going to bother picking them up. Yeah, they hit pretty hard. This one here, I believe, contains a fire shield, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know whether I will want or need a fire shield, since we already have an ice shield. But that's a thing, I suppose. And here we go. Flame Shield. Yep, Flame Shield. The other two chests contain mostly dark matter and other minor things, and are usually guarded by enemies that are not really worth fighting if we can't one-shot the entire group of enemies. Let's see. Everything seems to die even without using two-hand right now, so I'm just gonna use a shield. Blocking a lot of stuff and having higher physical defense. So the fire shield has the exact same stat as the ice shield, with the difference being that one absorbs fire, the other absorbs ice, as you might expect. So it's not a shield made of fire, it's a shield that absorbs fire, which either way makes sense, I guess, but it's easier to relate a fire shield against fire and stuff like that. This guy here, on the other hand, does have enough defense that I will want to rearrange my inventory for once, because we need more space up there. This guy has enough HP that I will want to use my Brave Blade with two hands. Ooh, I did not one-shot him. We got lucky though. Alright, so these machine heads are actually pretty dangerous. Their missile attack deals 75% of my current health in damage, so they are pretty notable. I'm actually going to equip the Aegis Shield, so we have a higher chance of blocking the spells. Since it gives us a 1 in 3 chance to block most spells, not all of them. And since we don't one-shot them even with two-hand, I might as well just use the first attack with a shield. Missile missed. That's good. Well, the reason why they are dangerous is because on the second attack they can use a Surge Beam. Remember Soul Cannon? Yeah, he could have, the previous one could have done this after using Missile. This guy thankfully missed Missile, so it wasn't an issue, but as you can see this certainly could be a very big issue, since Surge Beam does 50% of your maximum health and damage and inflicts HP leak status. So if he basically uses Missile and uses Surge Beam, we would be basically dead. Thankfully, we only have to deal with those guys in 2 attacks, so we're mostly fine. So the chest up there contains like a Thornlet, which has a ridiculous amount of physical defense for a helmet. The main problem about it is though that it inflicts the HP leak status permanently on your character, so that is very, very, very unpleasant, and thus, in my opinion, completely not worth it. Like, it just gives you a ton of physical defense, but it's not as big of a difference maker as the bone mail, and so the permanent HP leak status, in my opinion, is just straight up not worth it. The chest on the left there contains... oh boy, what is it again? Do I have an angel ring? I do not have an angel ring. Oh well, that's gonna be a tricky one. Alright, the chest on the left there contains, I think, a black robe, which is the best mage equipment for dealing magic damage, because it gives +5 magic power, I think. So these mummies, normally they deal a decent amount of physical damage. I'm not too terribly concerned about that. What I am concerned about is that once there's only one mummy left over in the end, I wonder if I can put them to sleep. Actually, I've never tried that. Let me try to use the sleep blade here. So once there's only one mummy left over, there's a big problem with that. And that is, the last mummy will use Dance of the Dead, which randomly targets one of my characters, even if they are dead, and it will turn them into a zombie. I am not immune to the zombie status, I do not have an angel ring, so they could just straight up kill Ferris right here if I do that. So this is why I'm trying to see whether I can put them to sleep. Welcome to you, Nectar Drum. Hope you're doing well. And you can complete it? Okay. Chances are this doesn't work, as in they are immune to sleep. So I guess I'm just going to hope for the best, basically. Don't think the Aegis shield really helps me here. We're going to equip it. Ah, missed. Really? A black robe? Yes, a black robe. Alright, please don't kill me. Okay, he didn't even use Dance of the Dead. Nice. If you have an angel ring, you want to equip it usually for this fight. Although you do hit pretty hard on not so heavy armor characters. So that's a concern. Then again, I'm using the bone mail. Alrighty, next. There's actually a crystal armor in this, which is guarded by a bunch of statues which like to petrify, but thanks to the Aegis shield we are actually immune to petrification if I equip it. So I'm actually going to try and get that crystal armor. Hey, how are you doing today? So this is Sekhmet. I defeated him in one hit, and well, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. He has a brother in the Twin Tower that we will probably see today. Although the other part on the Twin Tower might be more difficult. So the chest on the left contains a dark matter. Dark matters are basically just chemist materials for mixing and combining, but it's kind of mostly pointless for me. So here we have monster in a box. So this are statues. I'm gonna see whether I can one-shot one of these guys. Okay, with Brave Blade. No, I cannot. Alright. So, statues, as before, we can actually just take care of by throwing softs at them. They are actually really dangerous for a Thorocactor that is not immune to petrification, because on their second turn respectively, they will try to cast Break, usually. Break is the black magic spell that just petrifies an enemy, and if they are not immune to it, they just die, if it hits. We have a chance to always resist it, but yeah. I should probably move to the back row, because they do hit pretty hard too. And yes, Aegis Shield gives petrification immunity, that is accurate. I see, Quadlight. Well then, good luck to you. I know technically coding does not necessarily require luck, but we all know it still requires luck. So the crystal armor is slightly better than the diamond armor we have for physical defense. And if I just need physical defense, but I still want to be able to heal myself, normally like via elixir, I may want to equip the crystal armor instead. There's just one armor that is better, and that is not the bone mail defense-wise, but the bone mail is literally the best armor, just straight up defense-wise. Does that. Coding is like 25% luck. It might just be. Alrighty, so, and we get the crystal armor. So if you compare it to the bone mail, the crystal armor is still not as good as the bone mail, but it actually gets a lot closer than most other armors, to say the least, so it's not terrible. Especially since you can still use elixirs in combat. But right now I still have the flame ring equipped, so I can just hit myself with the flame sword if absolutely necessary. There's a bunch of more chests to the right through the wall that you would get by just jumping down from the next floor. But I don't really have to worry about that very much. And the other 75% Fate. I don't know about that one. Nice. Because of rounding errors. So the chests on the left once again contain dark matter, the chests on the right contain just money. I most likely don't need any more money on the knight. He has better healing capabilities than even most characters that can usually heal, thanks to the flame ring or even flame shield and such. Also, we have not encountered the most annoying fight in the pyramid so far. The most annoying fight would be a little lady sitting on the ground summoning monsters all the time. And she has a lot of evasion, so trying to hit her can be a bit of a bother. Just a little bit. Nothing big. Alrighty. So far, so good. Oh, and there you are. I don't know whether I managed to one-shot go away crystal armor here, not. Welcome up here. Try moving the drain sword down. It's unlikely I will ever use it anyways. I don't know whether I will one-shot her without two-handed. I don't know how much HP she has. But hey, we actually hit her first try, that's nice. So there's a bunch of chests on this floor here. If I want to grab the ones down there, I would need to jump down. But that would also mean I would encounter a lot more enemies overall. And for the most part, we would just get... what's the word? Money out of it, really. And if I don't have to go too far out of my way, I will pick up chests, but for example, the chests on the right in each of these rooms contain dark matter. The chest on the left in each of these rooms I remember being either money or an elixir. So that's that. Hey, we got through the pyramid actually without a hitch. So I just equipped the guard ring that we just found. The guard ring is one of my favorite accessories, but unfortunately it comes very late into the game, where we at most will use it for like just the next boss and a very short stretch overall. Actually, not even the next boss. The next boss I would better equip the flame ring, really. So the guard ring gives you a bunch of physical defense, which is nice as an accessory, but also it gives you permanent regeneration status, which is one of my favorite statuses in any games, really. Just basically it provides you with constant regeneration ticks every like few seconds. In-game seconds, that is, whatever that means. You just keep getting, like, I think it regenerates 1/16 of your maximum health, kind of like a reverse poison. I'm not entirely sure whether that's actually accurate. Actually, no, it's not accurate. I think it's based on your vitality. Something like that. No, it's not 1/16 of your maximum HP. Either way, for the short stretch to the next boss, I'm going to be using it. And fun fact, if you put your character into the last slot as soon as you get into combat, let's just get into combat real quick. It will give you a regeneration tick right there, just at the start of combat. If you're in the first slot, you do not get that regeneration tick instantly. Depending on which language, it's true. Fun fact is, Almgigas, they are always asleep at the beginning of combat, so until you hit them with a physical attack once, they will stay asleep, curiously enough. Alrighty, and... you know what? The bone meal is fine. I'm just gonna equip a flame ring so I can heal myself by equipping the fire sword. Heal up, and... let's go. So upcoming, the next boss is called Merigine. Merigine is a bit of a curious boss. She has 4 different forms and you never really know which one she's in. She just randomly switches. Except for the beginning. You always know that she starts being weak to fire. So effectively the way she works is she absorbs fire, ice or lightning. And she is weak to fire, ice or lightning or physical attacks. When she is weak to physical attack, what that effectively means is that she just has 0 defense, which, considering how much defense most other enemies have at this stage of the game, 0 defense is really weak to physical attacks, all things considered. Either way, she will always start being weak to fire, and she is susceptible to being put to sleep. But that's not terribly reliable, as we've seen in the past, so I'm just gonna try and whack her down. She only has 20,000 HP, and being weak to fire, I'm actually curious whether the Brave Blade will deal more damage or whether the Fire Sword will deal more damage. Remember, if we target an elemental weakness of an enemy, we completely ignore their defense and deal double damage on top of it. So since she has really high physical defense in 3 or 4 of the forms, basically, she is always weak to one element: ice, lightning, fire, or physical. And as long as she is not weak to physical, she has ridiculously high defense, even though she really does not look like it. You like languages that use indentation synthetically, because the errors tend to be out. I've actually never seen a language like that. That would make it's also a lot more easy to read if it's that strict, I guess. But at the same time, it would be pretty difficult to get into, I would imagine. Alrighty. As I said, she starts being weak to fire, so I'm gonna just chip with the Brave Blade, 2760. So yeah, that's a lot of defense there. So let's see how much damage the flame thing does. That's way more. Wow. So Brave Blade not always the best choice, apparently. So that's, basically, in the first 3 turns she has a 1 in 3 chance to change barrier. Like she does right now. And in the subsequent 3 turns she has a 2 in 3 chance to change barrier. Basically changing barrier is changing weakness to a random one. It could be that she is still weak to fire, but I don't know that. Chances are 3 out of 4 times she will absorb fire elemental damage. So I'd rather not risk healing her, so I'm just gonna hit her. Also, she has a 1 in 3 chance to do nothing in the first 3 turns of an element, which means she's almost certainly not weak to fire right now. And, well, she is just dead already. We were immune to ice thanks to the flame ring. We would absorb fire damage as healing instead of thanks to the flame ring. So yeah. MATLAB does smart indenting and somewhat less reliably, but still good enough. R does too. I don't really know what that means. So, conveniently enough, Lena now joins the party and she's already knocked down on the floor. So we don't even have to worry about that. That's great. Back to the guard ring, and we just keep trucking on until we reach our ship. I could just equip the shield, really. These enemies don't have enough HP to survive that anyways, but at the same time, they don't really deal that much damage either, so I'm okay with this. And they get healed occasionally anyways. Going to get rid of the sleepy enemy first, because those like to, well, put you to sleep, as you might expect. Also, the hedgehog I think would respond with a needle attack, or a 1000 needle even, if you hit it and it doesn't kill it. But, well, Brave Blade is too strong, it just one-shots everything. So, by the way, for anybody who may not know, World 3 is effectively a merge of World 1 and World 2, so most locations that were in World 1 and World 2 we can find again, except for the ones that XDev is going to get rid of right here. warm. Delicious licks. Goodbye, licks. Alrighty, after these set of cutscenes, we are finally free to roam the world in our own airship. So the way we are going to handle this is, first of all, we're going to grab a bit of a hidden item. Where am I? There, yeah. And for this I will need my yellow chocobo friend. And simultaneously I'm going to do two things along the way as well. So, first of all, on the way there I will find this here. So, we now have the slabs, you could say. You know what? I might be better off to actually wait a second. Before I do that, I just realized I should go shopping first. I think that's a better idea. So shopping, I'm going to go into a Mirage Village, which is a hidden village down here that you get the hints to once you get a bit further into World 3 side quests, or, well, main quests, depending on how you look at it. The game tells you that you kinda need all, like, legendary weapons in order to defeat the X-Death or have a better chance at it. Realistically, you don't really need them. It can be useful though. But in the meantime, what I want to do, first of all, we're going to get the best accessory in the game by using the second shop over here. And this accessory here is ridiculously insanely good, because these are the running shoes. The running shoes give you permanent haste status, which, as I have mentioned before, haste is the most ridiculous buff you have. So instead of going like twice as fast, with haste you go up to 3 times as fast, depending on enemy constellation and enemy stuff. So running shoes also prevent you from being put to sleep. They prevent you from being paralyzed, they prevent you from being stopped, and they prevent you from being slowed. So you're just immune to those status effects inherently with those. It's ridiculously good. And there's a crystal shield here that could be pretty interesting. It has 45% physical evasion, so it's actually pretty good. There's going to be one better shield, but I'm not sure if we're going to get that. We may want to. And the crystal helmet. The crystal helmet is actually what I think not as good as the diamond helmet. So while it does have more physical defense, which is nice, the diamond helmet actually gives us, well, we receive half the damage from lightning based attacks. So I think that's usually better on average, really. There's not really any weapon that is interesting to buy here, unfortunately. So yeah, however, there's one interesting weapon that we can find. This is the Thief's Knife. The Thief's Knife gives us a 50% chance that when we attack, we also try to steal at the same time. And stealing has about a 40% chance of success rate. So basically every time I attack with the Thief's Knife, I have a 20% chance of successfully stealing something. And stealing from enemies is actually very, very valuable in a lot of cases. Alrighty. I mainly just wanted to have haste before I go and do a world tour with my Chocobo friend. The reason for this is pretty simple. It's because in the Sealed Shrine, which I wanted to visit just along the way, right here, there's enemies in here that are not all that interesting to fight and have a ridiculous amount of defense. So with haste, this will be a lot easier than otherwise it would be. Most of you 4-job Fiesta runs? Maybe. Questionable. So this is X-Death Soul. He likes to use Doom and Reaper's Sword, which both are instant deaths, but thanks to our... Ooh, that's the one ability that can actually kill us, X-Zone right there. We are immune to instant death spells. X-Stone, I think, is a different kind of instant death, so it should still kill us. Either way, whenever you defeat this thing... Thank you for the heal. Oh, it didn't actually heal. I guess only Doom heals us. Either way, this is worth 7 ability points. That's it. And the Dark Matter, which, to be fair, Dark Matters are pretty valuable in their own right, but absolutely pointless for us as a knight. So, yeah, this is why I wanted to have haste shoes, so I would at least attack pretty quickly. Because this thing has like 20,000 HP. He is weak to Holy Element, and I'm actually just on my way right here to get a Holy Weapon, curiously enough. If I don't miss all the time, that is. But a Reaper Sword would kill you if you didn't have an immunity to instant death, which I do. Ooh, he has a lot more evasion than I realized. Thank you for the heal. So, with one tablet we can get 3 legendary weapons. And there's 4 tablets and 12 legendary weapons total, but we're not really going to care about getting more of the legendary weapons because we can only really equip 2 of them. So this is the Assassin Dagger. It's a dagger, which most characters can equip, and it has a 1 in 4 chance to proc instant death on the enemy. It's a decently strong weapon, but really the instant death is kind of the highlight of it. Not sure if we will ever use it, but it actually has the highest attack power of any dagger, so who knows. And then we has a lot of evasion, we might want to use it. And here we have the knight-only weapon, the Excalibur. Not the Excalibur, like, well, Gilgamesh had earlier, or gave us. This is actually the Excalibur. This is a holy elemental weapon, decently strong, not as strong as the Brave Blade, but still really, really strong. Like, 110 attack power is nothing to sneeze at, and it is holy element. There is going to be some bosses that are going to be weak to holy, and we might just take advantage of that. Aside from that, none of the weapons we can actually use, so we might as well just grab one that is funny. So I'm gonna grab the Gaia Bell, the Earth Bell. The Gaia Bell increases your Earth-based damage by 50%, so it's kind of like the Gaia Armor. And it has a 25% chance to cast quick on attack. Bells are interesting weapons. They actually scale ridiculously well with agility and magic power. Like, their scaling is insane. The main problem about bells is that they just don't have high enough attack power. And because of the low attack power they generally have, the enemies just nullify the damage before it gets multiplied. Like, the multiplication of the bells is insanely scalable, with ridiculous magic power as well as agility. But, well, simply because their attack power is so horrible, it doesn't matter that you multiply something with 50 if that something is like 10. It's just 500 damage, and we have better weapons. So this is a shield dragon. Shield dragons have ridiculously high defense. They, on top of the ridiculously high defense, they also always come with Protect and Shell, which means your damage is halved again after they are, well, it's already kind of reduced on top of it. They are not undead, despite how they look. They also have Reflect as a thing on themselves inherently. And they just run away after they are below half health, despite them being worth a decent amount of experience. The only way you can reasonably actually defeat the shield dragon is using a Beastmaster and controlling it. And I'm already out here without getting to fight an X-Death Soul. Alright, I would like to fight one X-Death Soul, come on. Just to use the Excalibur weapon. Speaking of which, I actually need to... need to reorder my equipment, just because I will be potentially using a bunch of different types of weapons. This is fine. I just want to demonstrate the Excalibur weapon, which Brave Blade deals 5000 damage to X-Dev Soul, so it's very impressive. This guy is not weak to Holy. No, it's not. By the way, these guys retaliate with Hard Hit, which the first time you can encounter these guys is in World 2. You actually walk by the Sealed Shrine already in World 2. And the thing is, Hard Hit does hit pretty hard by the time you are there for the first time, so you will usually get knocked out by a Shield Dragon. But on top of the Hard Hit actually also confuses your character, which is really bad. Excalibur, close enough you would say. Come on, I just want one of them. Oh my goodness. So if the music actually does not change, you know you encounter in X-Dev Soul. Okay, we'll get to use the Excalibur later, I guess. I just wanted to demonstrate it, but we will run into a boss that is going to be weak to Holy, and you'll see it will demolish them. More like to get them in the next room. Possible. Either way, we don't even get the experience from the dragon dudes here, so we're just gonna go. Alrighty, with this little out-of-the-way thing, we're going to go for an even more out-of-the-way thing. And that thing out of the way is... an item called the Magic Lamp. The Magic Lamp is an item you can use in combat, and what it does is it summons the strongest possible summon, Bahamut first. Then the next time it summons something, it will use Leviathan, the second strongest summon, and then Odin, and then Sildra, and then basically it just goes down the list for how, well, basically the summons are ordered in terms of power. So it's a very, very valuable item. But the main reason why we even have it, or want to have it, is because Odin actually is the third summon, and that's instant death against anything that is not labeled as heavy. Heavy means most bosses are heavy, so that means we cannot exactly one-shot them with that. But, well... a lot of bosses, and also parts of bosses, are actually not labeled as heavy. So we can actually just instantly kill them with the third charge of the Magic Lamp, and we will definitely want to take advantage of that. And Elite, thank you. Indeed, thank you so much for 2 years, 24 months of support. That's a crazy long time. Welcome back, and I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Thank you very much, I hope you're doing well. I know it's not up there. So, also you might be wondering, wait, where are you going? Why are you not... Hey, that's the wrong way to your ship. I'm actually deliberately taking a detour here, where we're going to go once around the entire world as a Chocobo. On a yellow Chocobo specifically. The reason why I'm doing this is kind of like a mini side quest you can do, where a guy in the hidden village that we just visited earlier calls you crazy for doing this specific thing, just, well, running around the world once on a Chocobo. And what we get for it is a Mirage Vest. A Mirage Vest gives us 1 charge of Image, which basically just nullifies the next physical attack. And that doesn't sound too impressive when you just nullify 1 physical attack, until you realize you can actually refresh those. So refreshing the image charge of the Mirage Vest is a minor glitch, but it's minor enough that I tend to think, well, I've been using other things already, and Mirage Vest is really, really, really crazy good, and we've been struggling a lot sometimes already, so I might just be using that. We'll see. I don't even know whether Knight can even equip it. I think Mirage Vest is medium armor, and so far a Knight has not been able to equip a lot of medium armor. So we'll just see. I might not even be able to use it. Alrighty. We went once around the entire world. Oh. And now I'm just waving to IR lead. I don't think this actually shows up in the chat, but for anybody who may watch the VOD or the highlight, in my chat, there's channel points, which are implemented globally by Twitch, and basically one of the channel point goals tells you that, hey, if you redeem 7,000 points, I'm going to be just waving at you. You can't see me waving because I don't have a webcam, or well, at least I don't use it anyways. But I'm just waving right now. Oh, got the Mirage West, thank you. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm still waving at AR lead, so give me just a moment. Now, Ricodactylus just redeemed it too. Yes, oh my god. I switched over to Ricodactylus now to waving, whatever that means for you. I have no concept or idea on how long I'm waving anyways, but Final Fantasy 5 is easy enough to just... Oh my goodness. Are you see? Alright, switching over to Vintage. Oh no. That was like a 20-second. Alright, I'm at Vintage Luke right now, so you're getting your wave at some point. Oh, Vintage Luke is going above. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Vintage Luke is gone. Alrighty, hang on. I need to scroll up now. Okay, waving at pupil. I need to actually use a second chat window here, so I can still read the current chat. Alright, I'm going to sell a bunch of things while we're here. Also, let's just see whether I can even equip the Mirage West. Alright, next, waving the Komaru now. Do the wave! Wave train! One-handed run, pretty much. I mean, this is also a form of exercise, isn't it? Mirage West. Okay, we can equip the Mirage West. So, that might be just strategy for later. If I decide to use it. Maybe I don't, maybe I do. Who knows? But we don't need a Diamond Shield anymore. We do have the Crystal Shield now, which is basically better. Waving over to Higher Elite again. I think. I hope I didn't skip anybody. Do the wave! Oh my goodness. What else can I sell? Gold armor, Gaia gear, air blade, gold shield. Both of them, I guess. A dream harp. That's probably one of the items we got in Barrier Tower. Mithril helmet, tricorn hats. Okay, waving now to Iron Elite again. So you're the next one in line after being the next one in line, basically. I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna use the glasses. And giant drink, gold helmet, dark matter. Still waving, by the way. I know you can't see it, but I'm grinning like an idiot because I'm waving just in chat and nobody can see me anyways. Alrighty. Next, we wave to Amelison. Amelison. Thank you so much for redeeming the thing. Flame shield we keep. We can sell one wall ring. We only need one. We are only one person. Diamond armor. I'm actually gonna keep it just in case I want to have the lightning reduction. I never need it in the end, but I usually keep. You know what? No. I'm gonna sell it this time. Plume hat we sell. We only need one coral sword at this point. Crystal armor we want to actually keep. Excalibur. You know, this is the wrong one. But maybe I will want to deal 1 damage to an enemy sometime. Okay, waving over to... Wait. Somebody redeemed Yagamoth's waves at you, and it doesn't show me who it was. In my chat it just says, after Amelison, it's redeemed Yagamoth waves at you for 7,000 points. And I have no idea who you are, but I'm waving at you right now. You totally feel waved at. You don't see that named either? That's weird. Either way, waving at you now. Whoever you might be, mysterious stranger. Hope you have a nice day. What else do I look for? Earth Bell sells actually for 4,500 gold. Most of the legendary weapons actually sells for 1 gold. Some of them sell for 10,000. Others for 5,000 or so. Okay, and the reason I've even sold stuff is because elixirs are worth 50,000 gold. I can buy 3. That's it. Alrighty, now I'm waving at Iron Elite again. Wow, holy moly. And that's all our shopping done. I want to actually save before I go anywhere. So, we could in theory now go immediately into the final area, but I actually want to make a bit of a detour here to grab a weapon, curious enough, that has a very special effect. But for that, we need to go and clear this dungeon here first. So I'm just gonna be on my way to do that. And next, I'm going to be waving. Doing this in one hand is so awkward. Next, I will be waving at Irelandwa, or Elanwa. Actually, have I ever asked you how to pronounce your name? I don't remember, but thank you so much for redeeming. I'm actually at the bottom of my list for waving. Hang on, I need to scroll a bit further down. Alright. Alanwa redeemed twice, so I'm going to be waving at you a second time after this. Okay, I need a slumber sword here, just to put these guys to sleep. And I'm actually going to also start in the back row, because I just need to put these things to sleep before we can kill them properly. The wave train is real. Nice, alrighty, one is asleep, so we just move to the front row and switch to the brief blade. It's actually difficult to just continue waving while I move my left hand. So sometimes it's just kind of a little break in between. Okay, waving at Alenba again. The second one. Also, please don't miss Farius, that's silly. There we go. So these things have 5,000 HP, we one-shot them easily. But they would revive each other if we don't kill them at the same time, or crowd control one of them. Or are just fast. Actually, with the haste boots, I would just be strictly faster anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. Single cactus, single claw, single hand. Pretty much. Welcome to you, I hope you're doing well. 34 UVC. I feel like I should know how to pronounce that, but I can't really tell right now. But welcome, I hope you're doing well. And welcome to you, XF. I hope you have a nice day as well. Good morning. Or good evening. By the way, XF, I really like your avatar in Discord. It looks nice. Okay, waving at Rhacodactylus now. And then I will need to scroll down to see whether anybody else may have redeemed something for more at this point. So we're just gonna keep going for now. This dungeon here is not particularly dangerous for the most part. The chest on the left contains a mini-boss that are guarding a golden sun, or gold disc. Gold sun? Gold disc? Something like that. Either way, it's a boomerang weapon that is not as strong as most other weapons you could give your thief or ninja at this point, so not sure how useful. Either way, there's a crystal helmet in... Oh, I'm in the back row. You know what? That's actually fine. I one-shot them anyways. And take only half damage. Another stream round me out. That's okay. XF. Basically, I really like your avatar in Discord. It looks nice. That's all. Those guys have a rare Mirage Vest steel. Wait, they do? I thought this Mirage Vest comes from the Pondberry. That chest contains a guard ring, but it's guarded by like a prototype enemy, and they can kill us if we're unlucky. The chest on the left, I don't even remember. It's not anything useful. The door straight forward contains a whip. That's a beast killer whip. Pretty interesting, but we can't equip whips anyways. And we don't need money, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Also, these guys like to use level 5 Doom. If we were a multiple of level 5, like level 55 for example, they would actually be able to instantly kill us if we didn't have the bone mail equipped anyway, so basically they don't really matter. Okay, I'm stopping waving now, just to scroll the chat back to the regular thing. Oh, Regadactylus redeemed it again, so I'm just gonna continue waving at Regadactylus here. Bum. X3. Just for good measure. Alrighty, so done waving. Never mind, not done waving yet. Just continue waving now. I like this for some reason. Okay, they have a rare steel Mirage Vest. Thunder has a rare drop of Mirage Vest. Oh. I wonder what is easier to get. Thunberries are pretty tough. You will never stop waving. Your life is waving. Embrace the wave. Wow. Oh no, this is not good. So that's a Toad Avis. They have like 27,000 HP. They are ridiculous in terms of how much HP they have. We deal good damage. But yeah, this is gonna take a while. Plus, they have, I believe, Breathwing, which deals 25% of our maximum health and damage. So I may have to heal in between. Okay. I think I'm done with waving for now. No. Whee! Do you do Forge of Fiesta when it comes around? Yes, I really like Forge of Fiesta. So those things are worth 7 ability points. That's it. They're not really worth fighting whatsoever. The chest on the left contains the dark matter. The chest on the right contains a tiara, which is actually an interesting headgear equipment because it prevents confusion and also gives +3 magic power. Couldn't equip that anyways. Alrighty, so next we're going to be facing off against an enemy that has 25,000 HP and is actually really annoying to take out. So this is... Well, I'm still in the background, my derp. This is Stalker. Stalker, initially, before you do anything, all of the Stalker images are hittable. So I'm just gonna attack it with a Brave Blade straight up. So then the next one, they are all weak or susceptible to being put to sleep. However, oh, wow, that guy was just right there. I got lucky. So after you hit them once, only one of the 4 is actually hittable. So we already hit that thing now twice. I'm just gonna try again. Wow. Wow. Really? That was ridiculously lucky. They're supposed to switch places every time I attack. But I guess they just decided not to. That was super fun. Yeah, I've never seen it that fast. I demolished those poor guys. Holy moly. And Dialike, thank you. And yes, I'm doing quite fine. I hope everybody else does too. Thank you so much for 4 months of support. Welcome back. And I'm glad you enjoy your stay. But yeah, I really like Forge of Fiesta. This is how I got to play the Final Fantasy V in the first place. Like, my very first playthrough of Final Fantasy V was through the Forge of Fiesta. Recall hacks? Yeah. Normally it's like a 1 in 4 chance to hit the correct guy. And even then, they don't have a particular weakness aside from being put to sleep. But I just happened to get lucky, I guess. That's unusual. You think the sleep persisted through my swings? Yeah, I was actually wondering whether that's a thing. Like, normally enemies wake up after you hit them physically, but this boss there works a bit weird. Also, that's an ether, the chest on the right is a dragon thing. Neither is particularly interesting. I remember that Shadow Dancer having some annoying and mean spells, so I'm actually just gonna take out the Shadow Dancer first. But yeah, I wonder whether it actually didn't wake up. That's very possible. Ooh. Level 3 flare. Well, that's less than ideal. So we know that these execrators now can use level 3 flare, which is 1000 damage each. I'm actually going to go front row and equip an Aegis shield in that case. That way we always have a 1 in 3 chance to block that. Your favorite Fiesta you got was a monk and 3 berserkers. Actually, that sounds like a lot of fun. I like the concept of 3 berserkers plus a babysitter, because it's a unique challenge, but not nearly as ridiculous as just all berserkers. Do I never run? Yes, this is a Brave Blade run, which means the Brave Blade gets weaker every time I run away from combat. And so, as a consequence, this means I just never run away from combat. This is basically the additional challenge on top of it being a solo challenge, and never run away. It would probably be a fair bit further into the run if I was running away from encounters. But, you know, only Knight, Gladiator and Freelancer can equip the Brave Blade in the first place, so I figured might as well just do it. By the way, fun fact, because a lot of people don't know this, there's a chest right here on the right side in the wall, and there is, oops, a chest on the left side as well. I see most guys never pointing that out. So I just figured, hey, this is kind of a weird little fun fact. Really? I just went to the back row. Meanie. And Amari, thank you! Thank you so much for more than 3 years of support, 37 months. Welcome back, and I'm glad you enjoy your stay. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for the good luck. No, I haven't done Freelancer yet. The Freelancer is the one class that is not yet on the straw poll. I want to do Mime first before we do Freelancer. Because I feel like Mime is going to be just a weaker Freelancer for the most part. So that's just kind of the one restriction I have for the voting process, so to speak. I really don't like Toad Avis. They don't even give experience. Just ability points. Not even that particularly much. For how much trouble they are. I think the main reason why Toad Avis even exist are... Where is it? There it is. Not terribly useful items in the wall, but, well, they exist. That chest on the right there, by the way, is money. I don't really need money. The way you get there is by going to the right through the wall in this room here. But yeah, Freelancer is basically just going to be a better Mime overall. Probably. Mime has one thing going for it, that you can't just use elixirs forever, with just using one elixir instead, but yeah. Beyond that, questionable value. Alrighty, so... what I will want to do is actually use a tent here. And this is actually going to be a bit of a weird one, because what I'm gonna do is I will be... hoping for good RNG that we do not get into any encounters with the low level party because I don't want to kill anything. So the way the Twin Tower works is you want to send your solo character up the right side first, and then you defeat the boss on the right side. Then we just reset, and then we go up the left side. Basically just kind of proving that we have no trouble defeating the boss on the right side. And then we just use low level characters to defeat the boss on the right side, because he's really that easy. You would have thought that would be a good deal higher. Well, level 51 is pretty high actually. Level 51 we probably can beat the game with as a knight without too much luck required. Still requires a bit, I guess. Either way, what I'm gonna do is... Oh, whoops. Because I had fairies in the lead, I was just thinking the first character I'm gonna send up the tower is gonna be on that side, but I derped. Send Pat solo. Yeah, I did. Alright, I'm actually gonna turn those guys into samurais. I'm just gonna give you a guardian dagger, I'm gonna give you a crystal shield and an elf cape. Basically the best possible physical evasion. Samurai also has an innate chance to evade on top of that, so they are ridiculously good like that. I'm gonna give you an ice shield here, an elf cape, and that's as much as you get. And you also become a samurai. And you get just a flame shield, and we don't have anything else for you. That's okay. Alrighty, so now I need to send you left first. Which was super high level. Yeah, Berserker is a very special case. How much did we spend grinding in World 1? Like 81 hours until we had enough levels to defeat Soul Cannon. And then we didn't even beat the final boss because the luck required is so ridiculous that I don't think it's reasonable to try. Well, seriously try it. We did give it a few shots. Sandworm we defeated at like level 70 or so. It's not that big of a deal, honestly, compared to Soul Cannon anyways. It is a big deal, but not as big of a deal as Soul Cannon. Either way, I'm actually going to be running away with the low level characters here. Because I'm gonna reset afterwards anyways. This is basically just to demonstrate that Fairies has no trouble dealing with the right side. But once we do the other way around, I will absolutely not want to run away even with the low level characters, and I'm not sure we can necessarily do this. So we might just reset until we get good enough random numbers until they don't get into any encounters. The encounter rate in this tower is really, really low. Is it possible to do a level 1 run in Final Fantasy 5? I think quite level 1 does not entirely work, but something of that equivalent. Could you let me run, please? I guess I didn't have any practice running away so far. But yeah, there's some forced encounters that do give you experience. I think the lowest levels are like level 5, 4, 4, and 3, if I'm not mistaken. I wanna go back to sleep, I suppose. I may want to go and grab some more Phoenix Stones for Minotaur afterwards. Doesn't running hurt the Blade Blade? Yes, but I'm going to reset after we defeat this boss here anyways. Basically, this is just to demonstrate, hey, we have no trouble defeating Minotaur. Right now, the Brave Blade has 149 attack power rather than 150. But that's not really going to matter for that guy. He has 0 physical defense. Okay, 148. I'm tiny. This is where I normally would try to use the... Actually, no. Chicken knife on the left side is a bad idea. Well, Lena just really did not want to stay tiny. That's fair. Chest on the left contains a Wonder Wand, an amazing item for solo challenges, except we can't use it for ours. So, I'm actually going to not run away with Ferris. If I encounter stuff, I will want to kill it. That includes the left side, which is going to be potentially very, very lethal. I may want to see what we can do against the left side if we encounter enemies. Just over there contains a high potion. The equivalent on the left side contained an ether. However, here we basically run into the reason why I want to climb up the barrier tower or the twin towers in the first place. This chest contains a defender sword. The defender sword we can use as a item in combat, and it will cast... Well, it has a pretty decent attack power, not as good as Excalibur, but it will cast Protect on us, meaning all the physical damage we receive is halved, and that is really, really good. But yeah, I have to admit I'm not terribly interested in a low level run. But that is definitely a pretty intriguing challenge to a lot of people anyways, since it keeps coming up. Alrighty. Also, we have a 1 in 4 chance to block physical attacks with the defender sword. I actually forgot about that part. Quite interesting. Either way, this guy has 0 physical defense, despite being the physical part of the boss. So basically, the entire idea is that the left side of the tower is magic, the right side is physical. This guy here, 0 physical defense. He has a chance to counterattack whenever I attack. He has only 20,000 HP, so 2 more attacks will defeat him. And all he does is physical attacks. He is basically weak enough that we defeat him in just a few swings, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, and that's that. Once again, this is literally just to prove that we can do it. Use an ether on him. I guess I could have, but I still had the bone mail equipped, so that might have been a bad idea. I'm gonna give you the wall ring. Oops. I'm gonna give you the running shoes now. And now, we hope that we do not run into any enemies whatsoever. Because now I don't want to run away anymore, because that would weaken the Brave Blade. And we want to... Well, let's put it this way, if we run into enemies on the left side of the tower, that's kind of okay. I will probably die if I try to fight them though. But at least I can fight them reasonably. But on the right side, fighting them is... I don't know whether that's gonna work at all. No money any problem? I think they have too much defense. The main reason why we even can defeat Minotaur with Samurai Guild Toss is because he has 0 physical defense. You can get ability points on like Galura in World 1 at a time. But it doesn't sound fun to me. Skull Eaters? I guess you could have the Skull Eaters run away, but eventually you run out of money. Just lots of resets, I suppose. Alright, what are we going to face here? Preemptive strike. So, the problem about these enemies here is that if we don't one-shot them, they will counterattack physical attacks with ridiculously powerful spells like Meteor, Almagest, and other things that will basically just absolutely destroy us. The nice thing is, these tiny mages are probably the least bad of the bunch. I actually don't know what they would react with if I didn't one-shot them. Let me actually check that real quick. I'm curious. So this is probably the least bad encounter we can get. Tiny mage. Alrighty, tiny rage. React to physical. Oh, haha. Well, never mind. So they have 1500 HP. We are fine on that end. We easily kill them in one hit. But they would counterattack with Circle, which removes the character from the battle, which means it basically is an instant death. So yeah, those tiny mages, if we don't one-shot them with a physical attack, they will just straight up destroy Ferris. Because Circle is instant death, effectively, that we cannot reflect or anything like that. The entire path for low-level grind is interesting on a theoretical level, but you wouldn't want to do it. Yes, that's pretty much the same for me. And that's coming from somebody who has done Solo Berserker on the console. Up to the final boss, that is. And Solo White Mage. Just scrapping it because why not? Alrighty, now the moment of truth. We really hope that we don't run into any encounters whatsoever on the right side here. Oh no. Alright, what is this guy called even? I think this guy is called a Duelist or Duel Knight. He has 2140 HP, he has 5 defense. I might be able to punch through that. He reacts to physicals with specialty attacks. He has 40 HP left actually, so we can defeat them. As usual, I would prefer not leveling up my cactus on the right side, but I don't want to run away. So it's just gonna happen, I suppose. Yeah, I actually thought the enemies on the right side would have more defense, but this is okay. Money will solve all the problems. I'm not sure, I don't know, we will see. Dual Knights just happen to have only 5 defense. We'll allow it, okay. Fair enough. I mean, keeping the other cactus at a low level is just for style points anyways, in my opinion. I just like keeping it that way. It is not too unreasonable to try and level up the other cactus. Oh, wait. Alright, we managed to get to the top. So, let's see. There's not a whole lot I want to change up here. Crystal Shield, Guardian Dagger. Alright, this should be fine. So, once again, Minotaur has 0 physical defense, which is what Guildtoss is affected by. So, it'll work. Just think of it like this, you're paying enemies to leave you alone. Yeah. Alright, we can work with that. We just bribe the guards to let us up. Alright, he has a chance to react every time I use Guildtoss here. I gave Kara the haste boots because she has the highest level, and Guildtoss is almost purely based on level. I wanted to see whether somebody dies before we continue Guildtossing. Guildtoss number 4. Alright, he hasn't counterattacked so far, gotten really lucky. 5. And even if he does, we have a really high chance to avoid physical attacks thanks to all the equipment and Samurai's passive of avoiding physical attacks in the first place. It's kind of crazy actually. And as you can see, he just gets absolutely demolished. Alrighty, and they can learn all sword slap, because why not? So, now we run into the difficulty here. So this is Omniscient. Just to demonstrate, if I attack him with a physical attack, we only deal half damage because he has permanent protect status. And he casts Reset, which literally resets the battle to how it is at the very beginning of the fight. So anytime I attack physically, and he is not either silenced or stopped, he will reset the battle, and, well, that's not great, is it? What I can try and do is I can try and use the... Oh, where is it? Where is it? I can use the Mage Masher. There it is. And if I'm lucky, I can silence him at the same time I attack. But as you can see, this is a lot less damage anyways. So yeah, what do we do against this guy? So first of all, what I will try to do is I use the Ancient Sword for the 1 in 3 chance to proc the old cast. So because he has always Shell on himself, he will have a pretty high chance of resisting the Shell. Also, this is what I'm waiting for. I hope he mutes himself, and I hope he stops himself. That way I can attack while he is, well, doing stuff. Also, there is a rare circumstance where he will cast Reflect on himself and then try to haste himself a few turns later. So that also could be to my benefit. Aside from that, we're just waiting here, actually. So what I'm gonna do is I will give him an Ether as soon as he stops or mutes himself for the first time. Okay, he missed again. I need him to hit his own mute or stop on himself. So let me real quick go through his AI script and see what he can do. Or what he has on terms. So, oh my goodness. Biospark, thank you. That's crazy. Biospark, thank you so much for the 5 gifts up to people. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoy the gifts up you received, and thank you so much, Biospark, that's really kind of you. Thank you very much. And hope you're doing well. Indeed. Thank you so much, Biospark. Haste. Well, he just hasted me. Okay, so, with hastes and him slowed, we actually can use a bit of a weird strategy here. So, what I can do... Specifically, if he is hasted and... if I'm hasted and he is slowed, what I can do is I can actually attack myself with the Mage Masher. Where is my Mage Masher? Because I have wall equipped on myself, I will basically reflect my wall. My attack, if it procs silence, will proc over to Omniscient. If it doesn't hit him, he doesn't react to it. But if it hits him, he would react to it, but he's silent, so he couldn't even do anything. So basically, now we have a pretty good chance of finishing this fight before he runs out of magic. Nice, alright, he's silenced. He actually still reacts to the attack command because he got hit by something and, well, he's silenced. So next what I want to try and do is I want to try and ult him. Nice, first try, that's ridiculously lucky. Because now, you saw he had regeneration ticks of 175. He will actually gradually lose all stats and levels, and regeneration ticks will basically be healing for 1. So that way he will no longer be able to heal up his own health afterwards. So next up I will have to silence himself again. And then we just try to hit him for a lot of damage. He has only about 18,000 HP. Also, the longer the old status effect is going on, the higher my chance of landing silence is because he is lower level. And it basically compares level against each other. So I'm gonna switch over to the Brave Blade and hit him once. I'm not brave enough to hit him twice in a row, despite having a Brave Blade. So I'm just going to go for one attack each time. And yeah, that's how we try and fight him. We need to get lucky for this kind of setup here in particular, but it can work. Also, by the way, shoutouts to Sola from Sola.com, who has done pretty much all the Soul Cactus challenges by himself, and was basically one of the main inspirations to do these kinds of runs. So I'm not the first one to do these kinds of runs, just as a heads up. And as a matter of fact, I've been basically just copying a lot of knowledge that I got from reading their diary entries over there. Also, T-Hawk is the biggest inspiration behind trying to do the solo white mage first, because there were basically a number of places where I thought, I wonder if I could do this better. Also, once we manage to push Omniscient here below a certain HP threshold, he will start using Ice 3, Fire 3 and Lightning 3, and that is basically when we won already. This is probably one of the few times where I managed to defeat this guy. Without having to wait for him to run out of magic, without having something that is like magical in its own nature. Most of the time you just have to wait until it runs out of magic, which is a long time. Okay, Flare is his death counter, and he's silenced, and he would reflect it anyways. Nice. That was actually really crazy lucky how quick we got that set up. I'm glad you think so, Regadactylus. I just like knowing all those little weirdnesses and quirks of games that I play. Okay, with this we have completed the Twin Tower successfully. Now, with higher level sleepy peoples, I'm gonna go ahead and equip them with... You get an air lance. Just basically stronger weapons to one-shot themselves with. This is actually the last time they were awake too, so thank you for your help. But you can go back to rest now. Going to give you the other air lance. I might remember if I ever need the air lance. Okay, and with this we can go and give our airship the ability to dive underwater, which now that I think about it, there's not really anything else that a knight really would want to have before going into the final area. But now you could go into the other two areas that have 2 more tablets after doing this. But you know what? Since I'm already right here and I have my weapon from the Twin Tower, I feel like it's only right to just help Sid out real quick, because he's just going to spin in circles forever if I don't help him here. We did 5 runs. Nice. Forge of Fiesta is clearly a superior way to play this game casually. Oh, I agree personally, honestly. The other kind of variation is what Seven Sins and Background Coyote do for the Final Fantasy Fiesta each year, where they basically don't run away from combat and try to go as fast as possible simultaneously without much preparation. So that's also pretty interesting to me. But Sid is evil in Final Fantasy Type 0. I've never even... What is Type 0? Another Final Fantasy game that is off the main Final Fantasy series. I see. I mean, I haven't even played most of the Final Fantasy main entries. I have never played 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 10. I've never beaten, I guess. Basically played like halfway. Never played 11, 12, 13, and 15. I played a little bit of 14. To be fair, I played a little bit of 7, I played a little bit of 8, and I played a little bit of 1. But by far, the most I've played of any of the games I just listed is Final Fantasy X, but still have never beaten it. With Final Fantasy 8 with no runaway. But why? Hello Jeff, welcome. How are you doing today? So, unless somebody has a compelling argument as to why I should go and do the other areas with a knight, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, we're just going to are about to dive into the void. Before I do that, however, I'm going to take a short break, just get up, stretch, and move around for a while, so... well, be right back. I think it would like hit 12? Which one was 12? Was 12 the one with the Afro dancing guy, or was that 13? Was 12 the one with the invisible weapons? And yes, I did get the Mirage Bust. Captain Bash from Dalmasca. I actually don't really know what that means. 13 has Sass, the guy with the afro and the baby Chocobo in it. There's a baby Chocobo in it? Really? Whoa, that makes it a lot more compelling all of a sudden. Okay. So that's the previous one then. Either way, I'm going to take a short break, so be right back. Chocobo. Alrighty, I'm back. I mean, honestly, I feel like people can like almost any game for their own reasons, and that's perfectly fine in my opinion. I just haven't really given those fan fantasies much of a shot because on the surface they didn't seem compelling enough to me to just try them myself on my own time. And there's plenty of other like little indie games that have just an interesting visual style that just intrigues me. Alrighty, let's continue. Now, the one thing I could think of as to why I may want to go into like trench, for example, is that there are some enemies that if you attack them physically, they will counterattack with possess and just remove a character from the party. So I would have to defeat them with Phoenix Stones. And if I'm not mistaken, Sola didn't realize that you could just defeat them with Phoenix Stones in his like journal entry, even though he normally does all the side content with all the characters. That would just kind of be the main reason why I may want to just do it myself, but at the same time, it's just a little oversight considering that he did pretty much everything for Master First Person, and it's not terribly difficult, so I think I'm just gonna go. Did I restock on high potions? I will be fine. I should try Final Fantasy 12, actually quite fun. I believe it. Oh, I forgot to give Ferris the haste juice again. Oopsie. Oh wow, that doesn't even one-shot Kara. Ouch. That's a lot of damage there, buddy. Good thing we didn't encounter Sandcrawler first enemy. I'm Captain Bash from Damaska means. I see. Alrighty, and yeah. Maybe I should go and grab more high potions. But never mind, I'm gonna go back real quick. Plus, then I don't have to watch the intro cutscene every time I die on the way to the first save point. I get more experience along the way, that's quite okay. Overall, you were like 13. Nice. I mean, honestly, is it weird that if I want to start another RPG, the one I would like to play is actually Super Highlight? Because I'm actually honestly genuinely intrigued by that game. So yeah, there's that. Did I get the Mirage West? Yes, I do have it. I got what basically first thing, more or less. And yes, once I enter the Void once, I can no longer get the Mirage West, that is true. At least not from here. You can still get them by stealing them from the Oiseaurère and the other stuff. Alright, that's all I wanted. I guess we can buy one more elixir. Yeah, basically I checked it out just before, just earlier because I was curious whether I could even equip it. And I can. Did I save yet? I don't remember. Let's just save again. Super Highlight, yep. It's a joke! Is it good though? Questionable. Now here's the thing. I would be actually curious about the original MSX version, but I think it's Japanese. I would need to learn Japanese first. Is that incentive enough to learn Japanese? I'm not sure. As long as it's not virtual highlight. I got to play virtual highlight for like 2 minutes at RPG Limit Break last year. I'm okay with that now. I've had my share of virtual highlight. I mean, it's playable, I guess. So I'm pretty sure these enemies here, they die in one hit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and equip my crystal shield. I find it. Where's my crystal shield? There it is. Because that allows me to block their physical attacks. It's barely a game, I suppose. Unless you enjoy your eyes. Maybe. I feel pretty much the same about Super Highlight as I do about Lagoon, in that I actually have played the Super Nintendo Lagoon and I kinda like it. Like, it's simple. Super simple, in fact. Also, this guy hits like a truck and has a lot of HP, and he's pretty scary, so I wanna try and defeat this guy real quick. He has like 20,000 HP, and can put me to critical HP with his Maelstrom. So what I wanna do is I actually wanna go ahead and equip my Ice Shield, and equip the Ice Brand weapon. I don't need the Mage Mash anymore, so I'm just gonna make some space here. And then hit myself with this. Just twice to heal up properly. So Maelstrom is not friendly, but because we are much faster than him, we should be mostly fine anyways. Please stop. Okay, he missed Maelstrom. Maelstrom actually has a decently high chance to miss, just due to nature of the thing. So yeah. 3 attacks, 4 attacks. Okay, 4 attacks it is. At least I give an okay amount of experience compared to other enemies. You get Virtual Highlight is barely playable. Yes, I agree. That sounds about right. Assassin proc killed it, but it's pretty unreliable. That's actually an interesting point, though. Because I can equip a shield while also having the Assassin Dagger, so an Aegis Shield plus Assassin Dagger might be interesting there. Alrighty. We have managed to make it into the second part, and stuff doesn't get any less scary from here on out. There's one elixir in one of these 4 chests, the rest of the chests are Dark Matter, Cottage, and Nether, I think? Either way, not terribly interesting. And I have enough elixirs to last me. I'd rather just get through these parts here unscathed. The chest on the right once again contains an elixir, pretty easy to get, but I'd like to take less steps in these areas here, just to make sure I get through them quicker. Those level checks enemies can actually ult me with a level 2 ult. And level spells... Oh, random elixir, thank you. I believe that's a random drop from the level check. Oh, the chest on the right there, by the way, contains another Drain Sword. We already have one, so this is less than ideal. Okay, roulette will randomly kill one person or one character in this area. I'm okay with this, because even if it hits me, I am actually going to get healed to full instead, because I have the Bone Mail equipped. Targeting. I don't know whether targeting does anything. I think that's just a wasted turn for them. Let's see whether we one-shot this thing from the back row. Well, 5 Toon? Don't really worry about it. Okay, we don't. so we have to attack with full force here. Okay. Maybe... oh well. Either way, the Drain Sword we don't need. Drain Sword is an interesting weapon, but unless you specifically work to make it work, it's not that great, honestly. Like, you would need a guaranteed chance to hit a move on top of a lot of magic power. And because it gives you so much magic power in the first place, you can't really underflow your magic power either. There's only two classes that can underflow magic power in the first place. And those two classes are... I just realized I didn't get flowed. Ah well, it'll be fine. Just a bunch of deaths. Those two classes are the Monk as well as the Berserker. They can underflow the magic value in theory. Well, the Berserker can. Practically, the Monk needs the Titan's Glove, which I'm not even sure they can equip. Yeah, either aim, or actually what's even better, because the Drain Sword attack is independent from the... oh, that's in the back row. Because the Drain Sword attack is independent from... I should probably equip the Assassin Dagger here, because they have a lot of evasion. And this will cut their evasion in half. Either way, let me try to freeze that again in just a moment. Oh, I didn't know me to do that. Oh, they don't even die to one Assassin Dagger hit. Probably want to just stick to the Brave Blade then. Instead of Aegis Shield, I probably should use the Crystal Shield with a higher physical evasion. Oh, two do not even do the trick. And they just heal themselves. 1600 HP. Well, that thing just got healed to full. Stream ran the fragmented sentences, am I right? Yep. And now I don't even know what I was talking about because I got so distracted. Good job. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Drain Sword, there we go. If you use Rapid Fire or X-Fight, whatever the name might be for your specific version, you actually can... it does full damage instead of half damage like it does with any other weapon if you use the Rain Blade with it. So it's actually curiously efficient if you have really high magic attack power on top of it. Because it doesn't do the normal attack power thing. You thought there would be more that caused trouble before this? Well, I feel like I got lucky getting through the previous section relatively unscathed. Yeah. Also, I'm ignoring all the chests and going straight through. Like, these chests here, to be fair, are not terribly useful. One actually contains a rune sword, which is somewhat interesting. Because the rune sword always critically hits as long as you have MP, or at least 5 MP. Basically, each attack costs you 5 MP, and it always critically hits if you attack with it. Alright, Crystal Shield back on. And good morning to you, Meriden. Hope you're doing well. You'd ask why not run, but you realize you had a Brave Blade. Yep. Basically, it's an optional challenge I'm taking on for the night class specifically, to not run away from any encounters. Which, well, has its benefits and downfalls. So this next boss here is susceptible to being altered and being poisoned. We actually have a very easy way to take care of her by just equipping a wall ring, because we literally cannot lose if we do this. Because as long as at least one character or party member in your party has a wall effect, she will never actually directly attack. And the only damage she can technically deal to us is Drain as a counter attack, but because I have the Bone Mail equipped, Drain actually does not deal any damage to me. So practically she is unable to do any damage to me whatsoever, ever. So I can just keep attacking her. Unfortunately she also used the armor or protect already, so not a whole lot I can do about that. What I could try before she gets shell up is I could try to hold her. I find the ancient sword. That way, once she gets regeneration going, the regeneration ticks are not gonna be as strong. If your character does not have particularly strong physical offense, chances are you might actually just run her out of magic before... Where is my ancient sword? There it is. Before you will be able to deplete her HP. Because she just heals a lot. She has like, what, 21,000 HP? So the Brave Blade actually would take care of her in relatively quick order. I'm going to try once more with the Ancient Sword. You know what, now that she has haste, I'm just gonna keep trying with the Ancient Sword until she has the old effect. Heal actually removes any negative status effect. Aside from HP leak. HP leak is very special. Come on! Not even a chance to proc so far, or chance to hit so far. Also, as you can see, her having haste versus me not having haste is a insane difference. There we go. Which is why haste is such a crazy status effect. It's just this in this special case, I don't really have to worry about her defeating me ever. I will just eventually defeat her, one way or another. I think I would have been faster just using the Brave Blade from the get-go, but oh well. This is okay. Oh yeah, good point, Thalphon. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, heal does actually remove the old effect, which I actually completely forgot about that, completely honest. But yeah, it also does not reverse the statuses lost, for that matter. Basically, old effect is really brutal. distance, you never regain your stats. And yes, what Thoughtful says, so often if you do a 4-job fiesta, which means you only have access to 4 of the possible jobs, you have no way to heal the all status effect, aside from killing off the character. So oftentimes you will want to kill off that character immediately if it's like a longer boss battle. Stuck at 16, yep. Alrighty. Fun fact, she's considered a beast, so if you have a beast whip that deals extra damage to beasts and always critically hits, she will get hit pretty hard by that actually. Alrighty, running shoes. Let's go. Welcome to you, Elysium. Welcome. How are you doing today? I'm not sure I will need the coral ring, but I'm just gonna pick it up anyways. Alright, Orcats are fine. They're actually probably the least bad encounter in this entire area here. And I have no idea why they are called Orcat. They look really weird to me. Either way, I don't even know what they can do, to be completely honest. They are relatively weak compared to most other enemies in this area, so we're fine. Did I get any tablets past the pyramid? Yes, actually, I got the... Basically, I cleared the Twin Towers just to get the Defender Sword here, so I will be able to use it in upcoming boss battles. And a hybrid of an orca and a cat. I see. Oh, basically it's just 5 cats meshed together, like these ones. So, aren't those enemies pretty old at this point? I believe they are. So I'm actually going to use a dagger because I'm pretty sure they also have physical evasion to cut their evasion in half by a dagger. Omniscient actually was very nice for a physical character for once, actually. Like, that was one of the quickest Omniscience fights I have ever had. Even without it being a spellcaster. He more or less immediately cast Wall on himself and hasted himself to haste me. And that was very weirdly useful, to say the least. Alrighty, I'm actually going to start with the Defender Sword here, just so I can cast defense on myself. And there we go, so welcome to a panda. It doesn't look like a panda, but trust me, this is a panda. And it has like 27,000 HP if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 31,000, either way in that region. And whenever it attacks, it tends to counterattack with Drain. And, well, we have the Bone Meal equipped still. We also cut all the physical damage in half now, thanks to the Defender Sword. And we are going to switch over to the Brave Blade in order to hit him really hard now. If I ever find it in my inventory. There it is. 2-hand, let's go. So, he has a bunch of evasion. He would be weak to fire, so it actually might be more efficient for me to use the Fire Blaze Sword. But I'm not sure. So that's about 6,000 HP damage. Let's see how much damage we would deal with the fire, or the flame sword. What? Oh, wrong slot. It's about the same, actually. Brave Blade is slightly stronger. He now casted armor on himself, which, well, now he will only take half damage anyways. Kind of like I did. And Sonic Wave means we deal very, very little damage now, because basically he cut my damage by more than half now again. Because Sonic Wave removes half of your levels. And this is why this boss is more annoying rather than necessarily dangerous. Because it just loves to do that. Drain is a good thing for me because I will just keep hitting him. You love casting Ifrit on him. Casting Ifrit on him multiple times in a row before he gets his turn is really weird. Either way, we will eventually defeat this guy, not too big of a deal. But it will actually take quite a long time. And yes, Threat actually would slow us, but we are immune to slow, sleep, paralyze, and stop thanks to running shoes. Running shoes are the most ridiculously good accessory. Makes me wish there's like only a limited amount there, like you can only get 1 or maybe 2 in the game. Or that like you can have 2 accessories, because I would really like to use the... What's the word? The guard ring. I just really like the guard ring. And hey multi-site though, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Alrighty, so now I'm trying to get past this guy. So this, by the way, I didn't even talk about this guy. This is Omega. As long as I look at him, he will not encounter me into a battle. Omega is an optional super boss, and it really is a super boss. Like, that thing is ridiculously powerful. And there's no way we can defeat this guy as a knight solo without having to grind for a ridiculous amount. Like, I think it's probably technically possible to defeat this guy, but practically you're looking to level up to ridiculous levels. Actually, no, we don't even have a chicken knife, so never mind that. I don't think a knight can realistically defeat this guy with a brave blade. Chicken knife can do it because this thing has like 95% physical evasion, so 5% of the attacks would hit. So that's where the daggers attacking enemy or cutting evasion in half matters even more. As long as you don't look at them, my god, it doesn't exist, pretty much. Trying to be really careful about this. The Omega is basically faster than I am, despite not having haste. That's how fast Omega is. Is Omega required? No, it's an optional super boss. So the reason why I went back to save is because this is actually going to be a pretty lengthy stretch, and at the end we fight a boss that, oh boy, we do not have particularly good odds of defeating him without taking at least a death or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 10, or 20. I might actually want... Actually, yeah, I want to cast Protect on myself before trying to take these guys on. But blocking first. Alright, Brave Blade. Let's go. Nice. But these guys have a good amount of evasion. And if I hit them without killing them, they will cast Image on themselves usually. Which means I will need to hit them 2 more times before I can actually hit them in order to remove their image charges. So, yeah. Welcome to you, Cross Product. I hope you're doing well. And we gained a level along the way. We are now level 53. 53... That's a prime number, isn't it? I think that's a good thing. Okay, just not nuke this thing. So the Avis Dragons have like, I think 7 or 7,500 HP, so we basically just barely don't one-shot them. We're going to make some breakfast. Nice, enjoy. Okay, kinda like before, I'm just gonna use the Defender Sword real quick. Giving myself Protect before we try and hit these guys, because chances are we will usually miss them. I don't know exactly how much evasion they have, but it's enough that I expect to miss, basically. So halving their physical damage dished out is actually really handy. So we take only 350 rather than about 700 damage each time they attack. %70 evasion, I see. Yeah, as I said, I expect to miss. We've actually got really lucky in the previous fight. If I used the dagger, I would have a higher chance to hit, but then they would just cast image on themselves, and then I would have to hit them 2 more times before I can actually hit them again. And keep in mind, this is the walk across this section here that I will have to repeat over and over again if I die to the next boss, which is, once again, not too terribly unlikely. Because the boss coming up is basically a blue mage. And blue mage has a huge selection and variety of abilities they can use. Among other things, they can use Mighty Guard, which cuts all damage we receive in half effectively. They can use a whole lot of other things, basically. They can be assassinated, but have 90% magic evasion. Okay, I knew they could be assassinated, but I didn't realize they had 90% magic evasion. I thought it was a lot less than that. Yeah. Either way, because blue magic has a few abilities that deal damage equivalent to however much HP you're missing, this means this guy here actually has a pretty notable chance of straight up killing us. Let me actually see real quick what my best option is for magic evasion. Because the higher my magic evasion is going to be, the better the chances that I will avoid it. And so he has 27,000 HP, I think. Where is it? 505. Algorithm guide. I believe Bone Metal has like 5% magic evasion. 10% magic evasion actually, not bad. So we have a Mirage West. And Mirage has 3% magic evasion, so not as good. Also, he never attacks physically anyways, so having the charge of image doesn't really help at all. Okay, Crystal Armor has 0% magic evasion, so Bone Mail it is. Diamond or Coronet? Actually, Coronet has 5% magic evasion, but I'm pretty sure the Diamond Helmet as well as the others have 0. Okay, actually Coronet is slightly better, even though it's really heavy and slows me down a bit. Not near as bad. Alright, basically we tried to kill this guy before he kills us. That's kind of all there is to this. I don't really understand his AI script, it's a bit more weird than the others. But hey, let's just calculate how much damage we deal. 5,760. Alright, Dark Shock would half my level. Thankfully it didn't hit, and because that would reduce my damage by a lot. Condemn is going to kill me in 15 seconds, not 30, because I have haste. If you have haste, it basically halves the effect. But... nice! Okay. 28,800 HP damage. So, any character who has less damage output than a knight with a Brave Blade is going to struggle with Condemn. Some can still do it, but the knight is definitely a prime character to just nuke this guy. First try. Yeah, as I said, he has so many abilities that can effectively just end me that I expected to die a few times, but thankfully, well, we didn't. On the other hand, this guy here, I don't have float, so I will be using an Aegis shield. This guy here has about 20,000 HP, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines. And he likes to cast Petrify once in a while, and Quick. He does a lot of damage. Earthshaker is basically what he does most of the time, about 1000 damage, so I will need to heal sometime, but I have the Bone Mail equipped, so probably should have changed my loadout, thinking about it. Okay, he just attacked. So what I actually can do, if I'm smart, I can do one attack with the Brave Blade here. Without the shield, because I'm twice as fast as he is, effectively. And we should be fine to just defeat him if I hit him once more. If I hit him. Just once more. Ah, okay. Goodbye. This is okay, because we had just a save point before this. But this also means that this boss here actually gets the rare 1 death. Okay, let me update the death scores real quick. On this, here on a Panda, here Apocalypse. 1 on Catastrophe. Okay. You got lucky, boss. Yep. I wonder whether I can attack twice before... You know, I only need to hit him 5 times, 4 times actually, in order to defeat him, if I just use the Brave Blade at full power. Alright, I'm gonna attack twice now before he attacks once anyways here. Probably. Uh-oh. He didn't petrify me. Or maybe just holding down the A button without any other strategy is the way to go. Ah, or not. Nice, he got another one. This is why I equipped the Aegis Shield earlier. Demon's Eye is a decently high accuracy attack that petrifies a character. And the solo character challenge run means that you're dead to petrification. I actually don't know what the probability is of him casting Demon's Eye, but it's high enough that you wanted to start. Okay. That I wanted to start with the Aegis Shield. So I guess we're gonna do that. Also, I'm gonna equip the Mirage Vest. You got 3 already. It's impressive. He sees my strategy. I mean, yeah, he can see, of course. With the Mirage Vest, I can also just use the elixir to heal, so that's gonna be easier. Nice. Okay, that's 1 hit effectively. You will take it that way. By the way, if you have float, he will always cast Gravity 100 to remove the float from your entire party. But if you have float and somebody with a wall ring, he will just always cast Gravity 100 and never be able to remove it because wall ring reflects Gravity 100. Kind of silly. Wow, nothing with Earthshaker this time, which by the way we cannot block through the Aegis Shield. One more attack with the shield should do the trick. There we go. Alright, he got 3 kills. Let's see, who was the last character who he managed to defeat? The last character he got a kill against was the Summoner. I probably also forgot to get float on him. That's the most likely explanation. Okay, and with this, We just keep the Mirage Vest for now, this is fine. Alrighty, that chest by the way contains I think the red shoes, which is dancer shoes, which remove the tempting tango from the dancing arsenal and add a sword dance, so basically 50% chance to do sword dance, which is in theory really good. Oh hey Ramu, we don't usually encounter you. Hey, listen, and welcome Kishura, I hope you have a nice day so far. Hey, this isn't random. No, it isn't. This is the original game. Rump. Alright, this is the next boss here. Likes to just frog us on the very first turn. So there's two ways of defeating this boss. Either you equip a wall ring and just let it kill itself with the holies, which deal like 9,999 damage, or alternatively, you just deal enough damage to kill it beforehand. So this is Halicarnassus, I think is the name. And Halicarnassus has like, how much HP? Hang on. 33,333 HP. And it... Halicarnassus deals a ton of damage with magic, so if we don't kill Halicarnassus before the holy turn, which will always happen on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th turn Halicarnassus gets, we're gonna be in bad shape. But we already are more than halfway through. 2 more hits and we're done. Oh. I guess just one. How goes the run? I would say pretty well. Omniscient was super nice, and we didn't have to run it out of magic. So that's a big plus in my book. Alrighty, and next up... How do I want to tackle this next one? So Halicarnassus really is not that big of a deal, so I'm just gonna keep going for now. There is pretty scary encounters around here. But this guy here is very unique. So most characters don't have enough HP to survive. A full power attack by this guy. Giga Flare. But as a knight we do. So normally I try to cheese this guy by defeating it while it's weak. So basically Twin Tanya here has, what was it? 41,000 HP I think? 50,000 HP actually. It's weak to Holy. We do have access to Holy Element, so that's pretty neat I would say. And we will definitely take advantage of this. So, alrighty, let's see how much damage we deal. Basically 10,000, so that means 6 attacks and we win. But, as you can see, it's just countered with Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave does a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage. It doesn't always counter with Tidal Wave though. That's 3 attacks. Four... Okay. 5. So it has actually exactly 5 HP left at this point. And just one more hit will do the trick. So normally, the way you defeat Halicarnassus is wait until it charges up with Giga Flare, and then you just throw some random instant death thing at it, like you throw Odin at it, or Doom, or Break, or the summoner version of Break and stuff like that. Basically, it's super weak against any crowd control effect while it's charging up for Giga Flare, including level 5 Doom and such. So you can easily defeat it during that state. Well, as a knight, we deal so much damage that we can just take it out straight up. Twin Tanya, did I say something else? Yeah, this beast is called Twin Tanya. So, I'm actually going to go back and save, because I really want to get the steel from the next boss. Actually, I guess that's not that big of a deal, or that big of a problem. I said Halicarnassus. Ah, I see, that was Twin Tanya, yes. That was a mistake. Either way, you saw the power of our blade right there. If we hit an elemental weakness with this sword, we will basically just destroy the enemies. The enemies here don't have enough HP to survive a full power attack. With this, so I'm not even going to worry about switching back weapons. This is basically, this room here is the scary room. I don't want to get encounters in here, because enemies in this room can have 2 Deathclaw enemies and 2 Sword Dancers. And they have about the same speed, which is a problem, because Deathclaw loves to just use, well, Deathclaw on you, which both paralyzes you and puts you to critical HP, which, since we can't get paralyzed, the paralyzed potion is not a problem, but critical HP, and then the other enemies just attack right after that, that's a huge problem, because there's nothing you can do about that. So I got lucky to not encounter them, so we're fine. Good job, Excalibur. You were good for 1 boss so far. Now back to the inventory for you. Yeah, actually, Excalibur will get to shine 1 more boss battle. Let's see what we get here. Okay. That's my Brave Blade. Hello, Brave Blade. Where's the dragon flying up there? There it is. I really want to get rid of that Deathclaw. Okay, we won't show it. That's good. Because as mentioned before, they can put him into critical HP. I can kill one of them in 1 hit. But the other one is in the back row, in that specific encounter I'm thinking of, so I wouldn't be able to do that. That's a lot of experience, by the way, 6,500. Alrighty, so now here we get to go into the Void. The Void has enemies that do not give any experience whatsoever. They give a lot of money and ability points, but that's kind of mostly useless. What level are we now? 53. Let me check my calculator real quick. We have 55 strength thanks to the Brave Blades, so that's gonna be the deciding factor here. Level 53. If we get to level 54, we actually will get an attack multiplier of 25. Oh, hi Thalphon. Hang on. There we go. Gonna start waving at you now. Alright, we have King Behemoths here, which are, well, they like to counter physical attack, but they counter magic attacks with a lot worse things. Let's put it this way. They have like 20,000 HP, I think. Nope, it's like 15,000. I'm waving at you, Thalphon. At some point, Kishore will be able to confirm that I'm waving. But until then, we just have wave without confirm. Ow. Yeah, they hit pretty hard. I probably should equip the Bone Mail again for reduced physical damage taken. Maybe the Mirage Vest is actually better, thinking about it. Of course, you know, you'll always say he's not waving. That's kinda mean. Alright, I'm actually gonna use a Defender Sword here. Alright, continue waving. Just because I don't want to take as much physical damage. Ow. If only to try and get him to actually get a wave cam. No! Why would I? I would first order remove the option from chat, actually. Waving blocks physical damage? No. Waving blocks mental damage. Mental damage? Psychic damage? Double lance, that's a rare drop. What's the word I was going for? Either way, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna equip the Defender Sword, Crystal Shield, go into the back row. Another monster! So this guy here, he is not that terribly dangerous for the most part, but I actually want to delay the fight, so he will basically recognize you, oh, hey, it's you, and give up basically after you deal, I think, 7,000 damage. So my goal is to not deal that much damage before I manage to steal. So every time I attack with the Thief's Knife, I have a 20% chance to successfully steal. Like 50% of the time it does try to capture a thing, and 40% of the time when it does the capture, I can steal. So yeah. Couldn't steal. So his steal is the Aegis Shield, Genji Shield, excuse me. It's 3 attacks, 4... Alrighty, nice, we got it. So we got the Genji Shield, and that Genji Shield has a 50% chance to block physical attacks. And it's really, really crazy good to be able to have a better Crystal Shield. It also prevents certain status effects that I don't remember what they are. But now we go into the front row and just whack him once real good with our Brave Blade here. And he will recognize us again. Never mind, we whack him twice. Alright, I stopped waving now. Or maybe waving my rights to wave. Nope. Still waving. Okay. Now, the question is, do I go back out in order to save? Or do I go back, do I immediately go on? I guess I would like to get the level. Yeah, I actually would like to get the level. Although I don't necessarily need level 54. But level 54 is just under 4000 HP max. As a matter of fact, level 55 would be more interesting because I could survive a full volley of attacks by the things. Okay, we go back for now. If leveling is easy enough in this area here, which I don't think it really is, I might just go for a bit more. Tyrion explains what happened. Oh, which game was that? Where they keep using that. Your character explains what happened. There was a game like that, wasn't there? When I go and equip the Aegis Shield on the way back for now. Okay. Absolutely kill this guy. Thank you. The Fury can do like some instant death moves, so I want to get rid of it quickly as well. And for you, I'm just gonna equip the Aegis Shield again. I think I one-shot you despite not using two-hand. Right, we haven't encountered the scary dudes yet. There's like Iron Giants that have a good amount of physical defense. And they like to use Rocket Punch. Now that I think about it, Bone Mail is really what I want to have equipped for those guys. Rocket Punch deals 50% of your current health and damage and confuse you. Bone Mail makes us immune to confusion though. Uh-oh. Okay, this is a... not the worst encounter, let's put it that way. Also, we should go before they go twice. Alright, you managed to save. Now, I think I'm actually going to train inside of here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use the Mirage Vest. Okay, so my goal level is level 55. That way I will have just over 4000 HP. And with that I should survive a full volley of attacks by... Wait, I don't need that. I can kill one anyways. Oh no, come on. That's an old encounter here. That's from, or except for original castle. Also, I wanna kill the rabbit first, I guess. By the way, Mirage West gets refreshed whenever I... change anything in my inventory around. Like literally just changing the weapon from one hand to the other changes the Mirage Vest. Reactivates the Mirage Vest, that way around. Welcome to you, Gibari. How are you doing today? I guess the encounter was pretty good for experience anyways. I'm gonna go back to my bone mail. Also, by the way, I still have the coronet equipped. I forgot to go back to the previous one. I'm going for like 3 encounters and then save again. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. Because this is the encounter we really don't want to see. Oh, both Death Claws missed. Okay. We got really lucky right there. Both Death Claws missed. And we do not one-shot these guys from the back road, so this is a problem. Okay, didn't use Death Claw this time, so that's good. Dance of the Dead. Will roam the world as a zombie. Oh yeah, they also used that as the second turn. That's even more annoying, because zombies actually steal my experience. Well, that doesn't do anything. And I cannot even do anything about it, basically. Okay, gonna go for an Aegis Shield, and that's my slumber sword. Okay, that thing is asleep. Good. Now this gives me plenty of time to... I still Mirage Vest here. Go down. This gives me plenty of time to... remove their zombie status. How many revivifies do I have? Enough, I would guess. Okay. Bonk. Oh, that's not enough damage. Oh, right, we are in the back row. So that makes sense. Here, let me help. So yeah, back attack, this is literally the worst back attack that could possibly happen, and I got incredibly lucky because I resisted both Death Claw attacks. The Master oh, not a renter. Not yet. Welcome to you, Iceburn. How are you doing today? You completely forgot they had Dance of the Dead. I forgot too until just now, to be completely honest. It's not usual that I encounter them. So, in fact, I'm going to grind for levels outside here instead. I was thinking I don't want to grind outside here because of the ninjas. They are annoying with the 70% physical evasion. But maybe they're still better than these guys. But not if I keep getting back attacks. Whee! Defend the sword. Protect. Against your shield as well, I guess. Move into the front row. Ow. Would not quite be enough if the December sword, sure. Defender sword. There we go. Wow, first try. I guess the encounters over there give a lot more experience though. And I can save. Ah well, we'll just deal with it, I guess. How does back row affect damage to yourself? How does back row affect damage to yourself? Basically, you're basically... Actually, it's a good question. You're both in the back row. Huh. Excellent question. I kick? Alright, I'm okay with this. Mainly because he attacked first. You take both penalties because it's funny. When you're in the back row, it takes you longer to get yourself, and you're in the back row, so it takes even longer to get yourself, so you attack yourself for less damage. So I would guess you deal quarter damage in that case. Okay. One more encounter until we level up, so I will get that encounter anyways on the way to the void, so I'm just going to start walking now. Like a Xeno's paradox situation. It doesn't hit quarter your damage. I would guess it would quarter your damage when you're in the background and you're trying to hit yourself, yes. Because it's basically a flat modifier to your modifier. What is a Xeno's paradox, if I may ask? Sounds interesting. Yeah, you half M twice. Round it down both times. I wanna kill this guy first. At least the ninja, I know what he can do. I think the other guy has a chance to instant kill death me or so. Not entirely sure about that. Oh, I didn't one-shot him. Well, I might as well use the Genji shield and the assassin dagger in this case until we hit him again. Xeno's paradox is a thought experiment that proves you can get closer and closer but never quite get to zero. I see. Oh, pinwheel. That's a rare drop from the ninjas. It's just a tissue. The antipulverinase Stabilizer. Wow. I have no idea how to even pronounce that word. It's just a tissue. Attack from the back. It's a 1 in 16 chance to get back attacked. Just wanted to point that out. Rude. Can I one-shot you from the back row? No. No, I cannot. Well, at this point it's not really worth to go back in the front row anymore. Oh, stop that! That's annoying. I actually want to kill you first in this case. Just to you stop the dance of the dead. They always do that in their second turn when some character is dead on the ground. Fire 3! Wow. That would have actually almost knocked me out right there. If it hit me twice with that specifically. I'm going to equip the fire shield in this case. I didn't even know they could use fire 3. That's my fire shield. Ice shield, flame shield, there we go. Ribbit. Oh, Comet and Frog. Oh, that's a really high roll on the Comet, dude. That's not okay. Those things are a lot more spooky than I expected them to be completely honest. Wow. That sword dancer uses an ice brand. Yes, indeed. Do you know what day you're playing Cross Crease League? No, I don't even know who my opponent is yet, actually. I should probably go and check that out with my team. That chest, by the way, contains a pinwheel. Pinwheels are throwing items for the ninja. They deal a crazy amount of damage, because they scale both of agility and strength equally. There's another pinwheel there. And they are just insane damage for throwing items. Can recommend if you have a ninja, or somebody who can throw anyways. That chest over there, on the other hand, is an elixir. I think I can one-shot these guys. Yep. This is probably the most tame encounter you can find in the Rift here. More than me? Oh wow. Where am I broadcasting from? From home, that is Switzerland in this case. That chest over there contains an actual optional super boss that is known as Shinryu. Shinryu is really strong. You can, however, much more easily cheese him than Omega, if you know how. Oh, wow. Elysium, thank you so much for 37 months of support. Welcome back. And I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much. Also, that's tier 2. That's pretty crazy. Well, I'm glad you enjoy your stay. This message was not intended to be sent. Alrighty, I didn't say anything then. But thank you anyways. Thing, what a monster name. Yep. Keep in mind, this here is by the way the fan translation. So, enemies that we nowadays know as Tonberry, for example, they didn't exactly translate them that way, because Tonberries didn't exist yet, technically, in the Final Fantasy universe. Wow, I managed to walk all the way here with barely any encounters. Okay, no bone mail. I think Mirage West is my way to go here. Yeah, we should be mostly fine. I actually want a diamond helmet. This makes more sense. Okay, so this boss here is Necrophobia. It has 4 barriers around it that each have 8800 HP. And each barrier on their first turn either casts Flare or Holy, which each does about 1000 damage. So my goal is to take out one barrier straight up before it can even do that. They deal a ridiculous amount of damage, so that means if all 4 barriers got to cast Holy and Flare, I would be basically dead. But I can take out one barrier guaranteed with just 2 really strong strikes, so we have a lot less trouble on that end. But this is why I was considering going one more level, because I would probably survive 4 holies and flares. But then I realized, oh wait, we are strong enough to just destroy one barrier before it's a problem. So here we are. Okay. Flare and Holy both use up a lot of MP, and these barriers actually only have 200 MP, so we can, as a matter of fact, kill them reasonably quickly. But we can also just let them run out of magic. All 3. This is why I have the Diamond Helmet. Diamond Helmet halves the damage I received from lightning-based damage. Ice is still full damage though. So I'm going to kill one more barrier. I think 3 attacks should be enough with the damage we do. Maybe not quite. It's in the back row here, which is why my damage is reduced. So basically they always alternate between Holy Flare and then the other thing. Okay, 3 attacks are not sufficient. I will want to use another elixir here. Oops. Alrighty, so this is Fire, Ice or Lightning. So, no, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start preparing for the second phase here via casting Protect on myself. Because the second phase is actually one of the more dangerous ones in the game, to say the least. Alright, so 3 attacks. When a single target wholly deals less than 1000 damage. 2, 3. And then I'm just gonna heal up real quick here. For this I'm gonna be using an old trick to equip the Flame Shield and the Flame Sword and just hit myself with it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use the Ice Shield instead, because the Ice Sword has a slightly higher attack power. Oh yeah, that's right. I did not even think about that part. I just missed myself because the Mirage Vest makes me miss myself. Also, this is only half as much damage as I expected, or healing as I expected to be. Huh, I wonder what that is. We clearly had more healing than that before. Help, I can't find myself. Is Magic Lamp allowed to be used in solo runs? Yes. In fact, it's strongly encouraged, even in casual runs, I would say. Because Magic Lamp allows you to do a bunch of things. So, I'm going to switch over to the Aegis Shield, and speak of Magic Lamp, I'm also going to equip the Defender Sword briefly, just for the 1 in 4 chance to defend. And so here we're going to use the Magic Lamp. Once again, Magic Lamp uses the strongest summon and then goes down the list. I actually want the 3rd strongest summon, based on the list anyways, for Odin for the final boss fight. And here I'm just going to use 1 charge to start going towards that 3rd strongest summon, just to take out the last barrier. I just need to use it once more afterwards. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I will switch to the Excalibur once he attacks or does things. So his first move will always be Flash, which means it will potentially blind me unless I resist it. Actually, I think I have the Bone Mill bug right now, so it's not gonna hit me. Also, Aegis Shield blocked it anyways. This is why I equipped the Aegis Shield in the first place. Either way, let's see real quick, how much damage do I do with a one-hand Excalibur? So this guy has 32,400 HP or something like that. I'm going to keep track of how much damage I deal. So the idea is, he does a lot of physical damage and he always attacks twice. So in theory, every other attack I want to attack with a shield in my hand. That's a lot of damage, I will deal max damage. Let's see, next is going to be 12,000. That's actually not quite enough anymore if I attack with half power again. So I'm just gonna wait until he moves real quick here. He missed thanks to Mirage Vest, that's fine. Alrighty, so I'm gonna hit him. And equip Genji Shield now. Hit him again. Or try to hit him again, I guess. Genji Shield blocks 50% of physical attacks, so this is ridiculously good. Alright, unequip Genji Shield for max damage. And that should be... Ooh, that's mean. This is why I actually used the Mirage Vest. So this is his cheap tactic he can use. I get 2 turns before he gets 1. He's dead anyways. Oh, he would be dead. I'm scooped. This is his cheap tactic he can use. He basically can Hurricane and hit me. This is why I allow myself to use the Mirage Vest here. Just an equally cheap tactic, basically, where he can Hurricane me, putting me critical HP, and then he will always miss because Mirage Vest will absorb the next blow. So now, what I would like to do is steal from Gilgamesh here. As much as he's helping me now, so I don't have to deal as much damage. He has the Genji armor I would like to have. Yeah, I'm not using a Windmill in this case. I was using a Mirage Vest. So 20% chance to steal every time attack. So we need to get lucky here, because we only have like 3 or 4 attacks. Before the thing is over. Come on! Oh, fairies, please. Is there any particular reason Ferris is left-handed in this run? Oh, yeah, actually what Almasia says. I just randomly use one hand on the other one, based on whatever my menu does. Like, I don't... There's no reason why you want to use one or the other. Try it? No, couldn't steal. Come on, Ferris, you have like one more try. 2, maybe, if you're lucky. You're just wondering whether it was by request or something? I see, no. If somebody would like me to use one hand on the other, nobody has said anything, basically. I just don't really care. I just do whatever. Reset if you don't get it. Probably not. I'm actually contemplating it. So the Genji armor is really good, but I don't think it's that good. Let's see whether we get it. Oh, throat attack. I think we get one more. Oh no, we don't get one more. Paris is too slow! Alright, let me check real quick what the Genji armor does. Genji armor has 22 defense, which is pretty substantial. The best out of any regular armor, anyways. It has 2 magic defense, and it protects us from Toad and Charm. Protecting us from getting confused is actually pretty ridiculously crazy good. But at the same time, we can use the bone mail buff for that too. So, as much as I would like to have the Genji armor, I think it's more spooky to try and fight this guy again. So, I'm just gonna run with whatever we have. Alrighty, Brave Blade. Save. Save in separate slot just in case we want to try again to get the armor. I think we're fine. But yeah, would have probably been a decent idea. Yeah, Genji Helm is mini. We actually never get the Genji Helm in a run where you don't have specifically a thief, since you need to steal it on the boat in World 2. And you don't have a Thieves' Knife yet. Alrighty. one-shot time? It's possible. The knight is really strong and has all the tools necessary, but it's always possible that we get crushed by Grand Cross instead. Good job, Excalibur. Now you can retire until the next hero comes along. Pretty much. Actually, technically speaking, it can retire until the next villain comes along. Alrighty, so after this cutscene we go back and save because we don't want to watch the cutscene every time we may wipe, and it's not too terribly unlikely that we actually get knocked out. Well, let's do this. Also, I still need to prepare the magic lamp, so I need another fight. This is fine, but I don't want to use the magic lamp while there's still a King Behemoth around. That seems very, very unhealthy. Ow. That is with the bone mail. Those things just hit like a truck. Okay, one down. Comic Ray? Uh-oh. Gonna go for Ice Shield plus Ice Brand Sword. Oh, that's why I did only half damage, because I have protected myself. I see. That's kinda weird. Makes sense though. Alright. Using a magic lamp here. Big wave. And now the next summon is going to be Odin. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to these things. And just knock him out. The first time you played this, you had no idea you could leave after the cutscene because it makes no sense. Yeah, basically, they kind of say the equivalent of let's do this, and then you run away. It's like, really? But yeah, I highly recommend you save after the cutscene is over, because it's not too unlikely that you will die against this guy. They are not easy to XF is not easy to defeat at all. That guy is a monster, really. Where's my breakblade? Where did I put it? I keep misplacing my Brave Blade. There it is. And yes, if you leave the void completely, then you get the cutscene again. That is accurate. Fun fact, these things only have 4 HP. But good luck hitting them. Alrighty. Okay. Let's get ready for the final fight. So for the final fight, what I want to have is running shoes. They are just absolutely the best. There's no contest. I wanna... I guess more physical defense is better overall. All things considered. And I wanna start with the Aegis Shield. And the Defender Sword. I will always want to protect myself up in the first turn because X-Death hits like a truck with physical attacks. And the more we can avoid that from happening, it's better. Mirage Vest will allow me to deny physical attacks in the first place. We will be able to sit in the front row much more effectively. So there's that. Yeah. Basically my motto is using the refresh of the Mirage Vest. Certainly not intended. But solo character challenges, I tend to use everything the game gives me, even those are bugs. That's just how I play it. I believe that Knight is more than strong enough to do this without using the Mirage Vest like that, so... if you'd like to try that, be my guest. Alrighty, welcome to X-Death. He has 49,000 HP in the very first phase, and I will need to get my calculator out to see how much damage I deal to various phases, because that will be relevant to keep track of it. Alrighty, so after you deal 19,000 damage to this guy, he will go into phase 2, where he always uses, where 2 out of 3 times uses Flare or Holy in his first turn. Alright. Reducing damage received. And White Hole. So, White Hole is the big problem here. White Hole is the reason why I can't really use both weapons. To be fair, I have the Bone Mail bug active. So I could just ignore that, but whatever. Alright, either way. Basically, I'm attacking only with one hand, because White Hole is instant death and petrification, and that's kind of a big problem to say the least. Go away. Because... oh. Well, I guess you could say I got lucky. You will. Basically, I'm just gonna only use the Aegis Shield whenever he gets a turn. Okay, Holy. Now, we had a 1 in 3 chance to block the Holy, thanks to the Aegis Shield, but well, we didn't. But that's mildly expected. Just use an elixir to heal back up. So in the second phase, we actually want to breeze through the second phase as quick as we can. So I'm immediately going to not worry about what he can do. He can still use the same shenanigans, basically, where he can deal a ton of damage overall. But I think we are already in the last phase now. Please no meteor? Alright, we are fine now. Probably. There we go. Alrighty, so, in the last phase, once he is below 10,000 HP remaining, he likes to use Meteor 1 out of 3 times, or do nothing 1 out of 3 times, or just a physical attack 1 out of 3 times. We got lucky that he just chose the physical attack rather than Meteor. Because Meteor, actually, with this amount of HP, we have an okay chance to survive it. But most of the time it will still just wipe us out. Alrighty, so Phase 2 consists of 4 separate parts. This is the reason why we have the magic lamp in the third charge. The far left part is the magic casting part. That one is really dangerous if you... No, it's just dangerous. It does a ton of damage and has instant death attacks with petrification. So if you're not immune to petrification, one way or another, or don't have a way to heal or absorb elements, that guy is ridiculous to deal with, the magic part. But the third charge of the magic lamp can just basically instantly deal with this thing, because it is not flagged as heavy, which means you can just one-shot it. Specifically with the third charge of the magic lamp, if you summon Odin normally, it will actually do the physical attack always instead, because there's at least one enemy on the field that is considered heavy. But if we use the Odin via magic lamp, it will always do the instant kill. So, this is 60,000 damage, because the magic part has 60,000 health. Then, next, the top right part is the physical part. It usually attacks physically, as you might expect. And it does a lot of physical damage. Let's put it that way, like a lot of physical damage. It's really something that we don't want to experience. I could try to ult the Almagus part. Let's not be silly like that yet. Alright, bottom right part we have in the Almagus part. When it's shaking like this, it's about to cast Almagus on its next turn. Almagus does about 1600 damage, holy damage, and inflicts HP leak status. We can possibly block it via the Aegis shield if I have it equipped, but, well, I'd rather deal damage to the top left part that is remaining. That is the Grand Cross part. It has 55,000 HP, kind of like the Almagus part also has 55,000. And it will, once it gets its turn eventually, cast Grand Cross. Grand Cross is 1 out of a possible 22 or so status effects, or was it 18? Either way, among those status effects are instant death, zombification, petrification that we are not necessarily immune to, and it is very bad to get hit by those. So, yeah. I want to get rid of the Grand Cross part as quick as I can. That is basically my main goal right here. Once I get rid of the Grand Cross part, I effectively win unless I make a mistake. So, Grand Cross part has 55,000 HP, which means it could just kill us here. Like, zombification kills us, and I think we're immune to petrification kills us, and... Alright, nothing happens. That means we're probably immune to the status effect. That's good. 25,000 HP left on that part. Ow. I probably will want to heal. Laws of the physics are broken, which means we pushed it below 30,000 HP, Aegis Shield, Defender Sword, Elixir. Just healing up right here. Oh, there goes my thing. This is fine. I'm actually going to hit this thing once. Wait, that would not be enough damage, probably. Grand Cross, again. Let's see. Nothing happens. We're good, probably. I'm actually gonna attack once normally, because the Almagus part, we now have a 1 in 3 chance to block, which we didn't, but, well, it was possible. And I needed at least 1000 damage exactly more. Alright, with the next attack I'm going to push the Grand Cross part below 10,000 HP, or below 15,000 to be more specific, where it has a 1 in 3 chance to cast Meteor on one specific turn. But with my next attack I should kill it if I don't miss. Okay. Alrighty, now, as long as I don't goof this, I effectively win. So what I'm gonna do is I will be equipping the Defender Sword, and Aegis Shield, and healing up. Alrighty, so next. We want to get both the physical and the Almagas part low enough HP. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just use the Ancient Sword. You can ult the Almagas part, so it's gonna be significantly slower. So I'm just gonna try that for a while here. Not sure how much merit it might have, but... Ancient Shield on, let's try. 322 damage. They have a lot of magic evasion, so chances are this is not gonna work. But I just want to try for a short while here. Run 14. Either way, basically the goal is for me to put both parts low enough HP. Okay, Fairy Stride once. I'm gonna want to have one more try on that. I want both of them low enough HP that the next summon, Sildra, is going to kill both of them at the same time. Once again, I'm just switching items around in my inventory to refresh my Mirage West charge, so the physical part is not going to be able to deal damage to me. Okay, Fairy Stride again, that's fine. We didn't deal a whole lot of damage so far, but now we're going to put the Brave Blade and start hacking away on this thing. 6,000 damage exactly. And yes, if only one part remains, they will start spamming Meteor, Almagest, and Vacuum Wave without any delay and any stop. So they will basically just be insanely powerful at that point, so you want to be really careful about that. Did I track the Ancient Sword damage? Yes, I did. We have, so far we dealt... Actually, I don't know how much damage we dealt, but I know it has 34,861 HP remaining. Ouch. That's the physical attack without... it hitting harder than... without using the Vacuum Wave. So Almagas part and physical parts do not change anything. Alrighty, it's time for me to experiment with my weapons here. I need to figure out how I can put this thing closer to 0 HP without actually killing it. So I know the Brave Blade does exactly 6,000 HP, so I want to put it just above 6,000 HP, or as close as I can anyways, which should give me enough leeway to not having to worry about it too much. Sure. Why do we keep swapping weapon hands? This refreshes the Mirage Vest, which is the image you see behind Ferris. The after image behind Ferris means that the next physical attack is going to miss. And basically, this is not an intended mechanic, but it allows me to deal with this guy more easily. And the solo character challenge is ridiculous enough, so I wanna just take advantage of everything I can. That's the short version. Alright, I'm going to hit this now. 1196. Just about 12,000 would be fine too. 1173. This actually might work out well. 1196. Let's see real quick. It has 13,296 HP left. So this, in theory, 1196. Okay, it has 12,100 HP left. So just one more full power swing with the Brave Blade here. And it has just about 6,000 HP remaining. So once again, my goal is to bring it as close to 0 HP as possible without actually killing it. Okay. Almaga's part now has 1000 HP remaining. So we start working on the physical part now. What is 50,000 divided, or 50 divided by 6? The capture doesn't always show... Oh yeah, if you can put the... Oh yeah, that's a good point. Not everybody can have 60 FPS. But yeah, there's a blinking image behind Ferris that just blinks at exactly 30 FPS. And it's possible that if you watch at 30 FPS, you cannot see it. I actually never considered that. That is what the image effect does. 6 hits and 2k left. Alright, 2k it is. So let's see, how can we deal just 2000 damage? Let's see how much damage the Slumber Sword does. 158. No, he cannot be put to sleep. So I need something that deals a little bit less damage. Let's see the... not Assassin Dagger. Thief's Knife actually slightly weaker. This might work out in my favor. 851. Nice. He has exactly 30,091 HP left. Should have used the Jaeger shield. That's okay. So this means 5 more attacks and he will have 91 HP left. Then we can just finish them off with the magic lamp. Well, 5 more hits, I suppose. By the way, you don't have to swap weapon hands necessarily. I can instead just swap around like an item in my inventory. That's the same effect. Also, I'd like to point out that the physical part is really fast. One more attack. Okay, Genji Shield, Elixir. We still have 8 elixirs left. Okay, one more attack. 91 HP left on the physical part. 100 HP left on the magic part, on the Almaga's part, unless I made a mistake. I'm gonna equip the Genji Shield and the Guardian Dagger for maximum defense. And hope that this is it. If I had a Wind Dagger, I might equip that actually, but this should be it. And GG. I can't believe you're wasting all those elixirs, you might need them later. Like your PM. Whisper? Okay. Will do, I lead. Oh my goodness, I see. Well, I guess I'm gonna try it. Sure, why not? Stalling now in the background. Thank you, Elite. That's really kind of you. And thank you for the GGs, everybody. Wee. That was fast. That was actually really fast, overall, honestly. I'm actually kind of curious, what's the deal with the weird disappearing text? Does anybody know that? I've always been curious, but I wonder whether it's just the weirdness of the fan translation, or whether that's actually intentional, because only 3 of the characters, or 1 of the characters survived. Looks like a weird product in the translation. It's getting eaten by darkness. Actually, so weirdly enough, that's actually my thought, my main idea as to why that could happen, because if you think about it, the ending changes based on how many or which characters you have alive. So, as a matter of fact, it actually might be helpful, or it might actually be intended, in theory. But just throwing that out there. Hungry instead of hunger. Okay. Let me check that out one. Thank you. Okay, I changed it up a little bit. Alrighty, so once again, make sure you vote on the next solo character challenge class you would like to see, which one we're going to be tackling. Also, I will want to start a raffle. So at the end of a run, I usually have a raffle for people to choose whether we are going to be playing as Butts or Fairies in our solo challenge run, and which name Butts is going to get, and which background color we are going to have in the game. So, if you'd like to join the raffle, I'm going to reset it in just a moment here. And now you can basically just !join in order to join that raffle, if you'd like to. You don't have to. But the bot doesn't respond to whether you joined or not, but I see you just popping up here, so you're all joining with !join. What class will it be? That's exactly what you need to figure out by voting. So, for anybody who missed the straw poll just earlier, the straw poll is right here for voting which one you would like to see next. And there's actually not that many votes yet, so that means anybody voting will have a much greater influence, right? So make sure to vote on the straw poll for which class you would like to see next. As a heads up, next month, April, we will be focusing heavily on Seiken Densetsu 3, or Trials of Mana. It will not be the only content we're gonna be playing, but I basically want to dedicate the month to Trials of Mana, for the most part, so we will probably continue with this in May, whenever, well, the next solo character challenge is going to be. So that's the plan. Also, I will close the raffle and also the straw poll as we hit the end. So, also let me update. By the way, I'd like to point out we actually did one-shot X-Dev as with our knight. The knight was really crazy powerful, and the 3 words. The 3 thingies ended up not being that big of an issue, it looks like. Alrighty, the final time is 24 hours, 16 minutes and 25 seconds. Not much slower than the Red Mage, all things considered. Please do not change up my format, seriously. I really disliked when I write the number 24 and basically like a time, and the document just changes it up to, oh, you meant the time of the day, right? So 001625. No! Stop. Seriously. Stop. Give me plain text. This is fine. 1625, there we go. You just came back to see the ending. Welcome back. So we managed to be at the end at level 54, I think. Actually 5 levels lower than the red mage. And yes, once again, anybody who just joined or came back, if you'd like to vote for the next challenge run or which character we play for the next challenge run, make sure to do so on the straw poll that I closed on my end just now. Probably keep it open. Wait, I didn't close it. Where is it? Where's my straw poll? There it is. Make sure to vote on the straw poll. And also exclamation mark join in order to join the raffle for defining whether we are going to be playing as Butts or Ferris, but which name you will want to give to Butts and which color we are going to be going for. The first winner is going to tell us Butts or Ferris, the second one is going to tell us the name, and the third one is going to tell us the color. That's the current plan. Yeah, you can only name Butts, unfortunately. Ferris, Lena, and Galuf are always set. Well, Kara as well, I suppose. You're psyched for BD2. You know people are hating the demo. Would you enjoyed it? What is BD2, if I may ask? Bravely Default 2? Oh, I mean, from what I've seen, it actually looks pretty neat. But then again, I actually haven't played it yet. We'll see. Excuse me. Thank you. Alrighty, let me try to get my Firefox up for the ending thing. Oh, and I have frame drops for some reason. Oh wait, I know why. Hang on. Sorry about that. There we go, this should fix it. Alrighty, so let's actually go through the run and see what happened, how we played, and where we went. So for this, we have this little spreadsheet while the ending plays. This spreadsheet has basically currently all of our classes. Also, it's the spreadsheet you can find if you follow the link in the SSCC. So we now have our knight completely complete. I still need to do the highlighting thing. Just stop being lazy. So, our knight, Caterian Fairies Pink, has successfully completed the challenge of the solo character. So with this... come on. We can put our knight to rest for now. So number 19 is going to be, I don't know yet, we will determine that as soon as we close the straw poll at the end of the next run here. So yeah, the list gets larger and larger of the stuff we completed and less to complete at the bottom here. So let's see what is going to win next. Also the black mage is just hovering up there, why not? So for our knight overall, let's check out the def counts. So we had 8 random deaths. That is certainly higher than most other characters, except the Berserker, but the Berserker doesn't really count. Because we also fought pretty much everything along the way. It's actually lower than I expected it to be. I expected to have more random deaths. Random deaths are to random encounters, basically. Then we had 3 deaths to Ifrit before I decided to go and level up a bunch higher. And Biblos was basically the biggest early game, like, difficulty spike overall. Where we didn't have a good weapon, we just dealt damage, but not all that much. And it took a while to get the stars to align until we won. But we actually ended up getting decently lucky, so not too bad. Aside from that, we had 18 deaths to Gilgamesh for Galuf, but that was actually mostly because we were still at level like 5 or so with Galuf and tried to kill a spider to get a level. Because I wanted to defeat Gilgamesh with a knight, with Galuf, because I couldn't run away from random encounters anyway, so might as well try to do it all as a knight. So that's kind of, well, a bunch of deaths that don't necessarily count into the total for the actual challenge run, but they're there. Then next, we had 13 deaths to Atmos before I decided to go and level up a bunch more for the upcoming challenge ahead. And with that, we actually managed to successfully take out Atmos first try once we had a bit of a higher level, more maximum HP to work with. And we needed that maximum HP. But also, it's a true solo character challenge style completion. Then XDev1, we had a ridiculous streak of him just casting Condemn over and over again in the first turn. And the second time, we managed to... Actually, more like the third time he didn't cast Condemn. Was also the second time ever he did not cast Condemn the second time. Like, we had to... Just the first Condemn was the problem. The second one we got really lucky on. Because once that happened, we actually managed to defeat him. And beyond that, the rest of the entirety of the world, we had 3 deaths to Catastrophe, which I could have completely avoided if I decided to go and get Float. So the Knight has basically one of the strongest late games after this section here compared to other characters. So I would say that was kind of decently strong and pretty impressive. But yeah. Make sure you vote, everybody, on the next challenge run for what you would like to see, because the end is nigh, or well, the end of this run anyways. So let's see where we're going to go. Once again, the next challenge will probably be in May, once we start tackling that. But I would like to define which character it is going to be, and who it is going to be for background color, etc. So, one last time I'm going to throw out the link for the straw poll right here. I like this music. You remember Amagus died over 100 times to Carl boss with solo white mage? Yeah, my solo white mage got insanely lucky to defeat Carlos boss as fast as it did. Like, solo white mage Carl boss is probably the most ridiculous one of all the classes. Close second is summoner, but yeah. Hey, don't you hear something? I hear it. Grandpa's voice. Wee. Those are the wrong voices of mine. Oh well, doesn't matter too much. How would solo mime work? Very slowly. Mostly break rods and calculate how many rods we need for everything. No, actually you do have attack, Elysium. I think actually you do have attack as long as you... No, I'm pretty sure you do have an attack command. And yes, you can mime yourself. And if you mime, let's say using an elixir, you will actually continually use an elixir without actually using up the item. That's the one advantage it has for whatever that means. There's not much to mime. Well, that's why I have mime there before Freelancer, effectively. It saves on resources in a sense, but only in combat. Can't mime the rot break though. I wonder whether you could. Like you break a rod, then you equip a rod again, and then you mime. That would be pretty strong, I agree. Yeah, we will just have to calculate how many rods we need in order to defeat all the bosses effectively, I think. Yeah, I don't know either, Thalfon. We would need to try. It's just a really bad freelancer. Yep, that's why it's freelancer before mine before freelancer. Welcome to you, Numerals. You missed the grand final? I guess so. Alrighty. Once again, last chance to vote on the straw poll. When the end rests on the screen, that is when we determine which class is going to be next. If there's a tie, I might just play the tiebreaker myself, because I feel like it. Maybe. We'll see. And yes, we actually did kill Exta first try. We used the Mirage Vest and worked out really well, I would say. Two Grand Crosses both had no effect indeed. Those were the only real dangers as long as I played it properly, which kind of questionable, honestly. Whether I played that properly or not. Sword Slap. FF2, I see. I like FF2 honestly. Like, I know it's super cheesy, and I know I have never actually played the game. I've only watched like parts of a let's play of it, and from what I've seen I liked it. Actually, I have played the game a little bit. When my neighbor friend decided to get it and just played it a bunch, I got to play it a bunch too. X is like a movie. X is very much like a movie, to an extent, yeah. It does have interesting turn-based combat, in my opinion. Bonk. I like how everybody just has Sword Slap because we defeated Minotaur as samurais. Okay. Various Knight Tyrion has managed to complete the game, solo character challenge style. And, well, in just a moment we are going to do one final refresh of the results on which one we're going to be playing next. And here we go. So currently, Beastmaster and Black Mage both have 14 votes, with Mime and Necromancer 2.0 being at 10 votes. Let's try to refresh it a bunch more times until somebody may vote for it. But other than that, I might just be the tiebreaker. And the way I'm going to tiebreak this is I'm going to roll a dice. A physical dice, unless somebody else votes in the meantime. So, what that means is Beastmaster is going to be 1, 2, or 3 on a 6-sided dice, and the Black Mage is going to be 4, 5, and 6. So let's see which one is going to be. Refresh results. Ah, never mind. Somebody voted for Beastmaster. I'm not gonna roll then. So, we're gonna play Beastmaster. Alrighty, everybody. This means that Beastmaster is going to be our next challenge. And That is going to be a really interesting one, because Beastmaster is a pretty unique class. Compared to Chemist, I would say it requires a lot more attention to detail on how to play it and a lot more preparation, but it's definitely an interesting one, to say the least. Okay, number 19, Beastmaster is in progress, and now we need some people to, well, tell us whether we are going to be using Butts or Fairies as the main character, whether we are going, or what color for the background we will use, and what name Butts will have. So the first one I'm going to draw, once again, !join for your last chance to join the raffle for this. The first winner will tell us whether we are going to be playing as Butts or as Ferris. I'm just gonna wait until the waves of join are over. I think most of you are already joined, but there we go. Alrighty. Going to start in 3, 2, those dice just came in last second. 1, and the winner is the Iceburner. Iceburner is going to tell us whether we're going to be playing as Ferris or Butts. What would you like to see today? Or next time, I suppose. Beastmaster can do only grind on shade dragons. Yes, we will probably take advantage of that and more. Also, next winner is going to determine which name Butts is going to have. So the winner for the name is going to be... No, the name, we haven't chosen the winner for the name yet. Name is going to be for Lead. Oh, are you sure for that? Are we just going to name Butts? Or would you like to choose a different name? Keep in mind we have, I think, only 6 characters. So... pick your choice. Ferris looks awesome as a Beastmaster. Is it gonna be Ferris in that case? Just swap the name. Swap the name with what, if I may ask? It's those earmuffs. The earmuffs are pretty neat, I agree. Alright, it's gonna be Ferris in that case. What do you mean with swapped name? Keep in mind, I can only name Butts. That's it. Should I just name him Ferris? Yeah, we can't, unfortunately we cannot really... name... Actually, I don't even know whether we can name Butts as Ferris as well. So we would have 2 Ferris in the team. Yeah, the other 3 are just... they have a set name. Need a rename hack. We would actually. Alrighty, and the last winner is going to tell us the background color. Keep in mind it can't be too bright, because it has to be readable and not too unpleasant for the eye. So the winner for that one is... Ash the Husky. What color would you like to see? But yeah, for now, unless you tell me something else, I set Butts' name as Ferris. If we can do that. Career Day now allows you to rename all characters. Interesting. Purple. Okay. We're gonna figure out which purple it is going to be once we start again. But that's that for now for Final Fantasy V. So thank you very much for voting, everybody. Once again, you still have the choice to change it if you'd like to. And that's that for Final Fantasy V. But sure. We're going to do that, Thank you very much. So everybody, thank you for participating in the raffle. Thank you much for watching and listening and for lurking. And until the next challenge. Good night.